All right, guys. Hey everyone. This is just a random bullshit stream because why not? So I'm joined. I'm joined with Angels, Cameron, and Gerard. So yeah.
Hello, hi
So yeah.
everyone.
What should we do then? Because this is just a random bullshit late night stream. Any ideas?
Let's just randomly chat about whatever for a while. See who decides to join us in the side chat, and hi people if you're uh joining us now. And then we could do a little bit of shower with your dad.
Yeah. I mean that always has to happen. That's sort of like a trope, if you will, of this sort of our little gang. We have to do a shower with your dad, like in every stream. We
Okay.
just have to do it. Yeah, well, on my channel anyway, we have to do it.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Oh, definitely.
yeah, it's still good. Luke's in the side chat. So,
Hello, Luke. Um,
do you want to
so
join? You can join if you want. I can give you a link right now at the start so you can find it. Anyway, but
right,
yeah,
so
I mean, we can start talking about how lovely the weather was today. It was lovely, wasn't it?
It was.
oh, it was,
I've been
yeah.
out all day. That was great.
Oh God, yeah. I had family over actually. They came here. What was it, yesterday, and then they're gonna leave tomorrow. So I had to be dropped off to uni because I had to just like I got an exam on Wednesday, so I can't really waste Monday morning just running around. I have to sort of get down to it, if you will.
Mhm.
So, but anyway, I had family over, and like I couldn't join the stream because obviously my uncle was like in the same room. He's like snoring, and I'm like, dude, can't do it if it's like this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, why not? But anyway,
Why was your uncle snoring? I mean, surely if he's like invited
like,
round to have a barbecue, he shouldn't really be asleep, should he?
no. This was no. This was today's activity because they just came around because it was like they haven't came around to our house in like a year. So and it was sort of nice because it's my mom's parents and her siblings, so
Yeah.
it's a pretty close family. So why not? And the barbecue is just today because it was like nice weather. We decided at last minute. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so it was nice. Yeah, but like I said, I couldn't join the stream because he was snoring in the same room. So there we go.
Don't worry, it wouldn't be the first time. And
There
we're
we
sort
go.
of all pros at snoring at one point or another, isn't
Oh
that
God.
right, Gerard?
Yeah, I no, I don't have to worry because it's just like me in the flat and obviously four other flatmates, but they can deal with my snoring just fine,
But I
Yeah.
saw really loud, right?
Yeah.
So, right, a couple of years ago, so arts, we're doing A levels. So
Yeah.
so part we're doing part of our course, right? We went to Devon for a week to look
Yeah.
at rocks.
Yeah. Oh,
And
okay.
I was asleep and everyone was awake, and everyone went out of the room as soon as I started snoring. I stepped out of the room. That's how
What?
much I snore.
What? So is this your you told me once that you were doing, was it geology A level,
Yeah.
right? Oh, okay.
It was a
Yeah.
trip to do with Georgia to look
Oh.
at rocks, basically.
Because there's some like they do like bachelors in science and geology, like they do those sorts of degrees. But I've heard of the degree, but I haven't heard of the A level before.
Yeah, only like a couple hundred people a year do the A level.
Like out of like a million odd people doing the
Yeah. It's quite unique course to do.
angels. I called you. Oh, angels. Lucas started on you actually. He said, "Angels, I called you a little slave of
Yeah,
the
I
EU."
did. I called you a little slave.
Oh, oh, hi there. I didn't realize you
Oh,
joined.
hello again.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
no.
oh.
A little
Hey,
slave.
my fellow social conservative has joined.
Oh Christ.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, Angel doesn't like it.
Yeah, I loved last week's stream because it was just me, you, and Cameron. We were all going all socially conservative and discussing all the
Yep.
genders and everything. It's brilliant.
God, don't talk about the gender thing.
Oh, 112 genders. There's astrogender, which was the gender that's linked to space or something.
Yeah, what a load of garbage.
There's one gender. It changes depending on who you're talking to.
There's only two genders.
There's
That's-
two, male and female. It all
Natural
depends on which
order.
chromosomes you have. That's what me and Luke think, anyway.
Right.
And that's a national order.
Yeah, that's what, because we're socially conservative. That's what we agree in, but it's just our opinion, I guess. But yeah, the world has gone mad.
Barmy,
Hasn't it, Luke? It's gone mad. But
Yeah.
anyway, Luke, were you enjoying the weather today? What?
Yes, I wasn't drawing the window.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it got
Yes.
really hot in my end actually. It's quite warm.
My town.
Oh wow, because I don't know, the weather's actually been it's been surprisingly hot for the past few weeks actually. We're having sort of spikes, haven't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have. Yeah.
Mm. So yeah, I mean it was nice. I mean I had family over for the past couple of days, and today we
that
had
sounds very nice.
yeah today we had today my dad decided to do a barbecue, which was nice. So that was good.
Can't beat anything but barbecue.
Oh yeah, it was nice. And then Angel said that Bazdog did a barbecue as well.
He did. Yeah, he did.
Oh, that's
He
nice.
did. Yeah, except for the fact that unfortunately well he actually, it wasn't his fault, but like he cooked these lamb steaks and
Lamb steaks.
yeah, so there was also like burgers and chicken and stuff.
Yeah.
But I love like lamb steaks, and I was like, oh, I was really looking forward to them, but they were the fatty, like they were really chewy and just bad. I don't even know why, but they just were. Yeah, and so I was just like, oh, okay. So I was a little bit.
You see those steak cooking tutorials, and they're like, oh, you see this like white layer of fat. It's like you're supposed to take that off and then do it all nicely. And
yeah, I know.
Just eat the fat.
Well, no, I see these were.
I like a bit of fat, like you know the inside the bones, right? You have that sort of like
marrow.
Marrow, yeah, and you suck that out. I like that, but that's
that's okay. But like, yeah, because they weren't like steaks. They were like on the bone and stuff, and so.
Oh yeah, like T-bones, right?
Yeah, but they no. Well, they were lamb. I think they were just like
lamb chops, right?
Or whatever. Yeah.
Probably lamb chops then.
They weren't that great actually, and my parents normally.
Oh yeah, I love barbecue lamb chops. My dad does them really well. So
yeah.
He didn't make it this time. It was just chicken skewers and beef skewers. That was it really this time. But it was nice.
Okay. Still good though. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't have steaks normally. Like the last time I had like a proper nice barbecued steak was when I went to Turkey last year. That was nice because I went to a hotel which was weird because we got a really good deal for it. It was Monarch Airlines before they shut down. We got it literally like 1.5 months before they shut down. So
okay.
It was I think it was like $3,000 for family of 5.
Not bad.
And it was a week holiday in a 5-star resort, and it had all food and everything included, which was brilliant. So it wasn't too bad. So.
You've got in the side chat, we've got Sonic Studios, who I don't know who that is, but maybe
he was
he's the American one.
Oh yeah, the American dude. Yeah. Oh, it was really funny, wasn't it, Luke? Remember when his mom shouted at him? His mom shouted at him like, you see those Call of Duty kids, right? Like on YouTube, and you see their parents just in the background like shout at them. That's what happened to Sonic.
Hey, get off the bloody thing.
Yeah, it's like, get off YouTube, and it's like, Mom, I'm doing a stream. Come on.
Doesn't matter if you're doing a live stream.
Oh God. Yeah, he's a nice guy. I like Sonic.
He's a nice guy.
Nice guy, but Mum was a bit harsh. New Left Voice, can I join your stream? Yeah, sure, join your stream. It's not my main politics stream, Sonic. It's a bullshit stream. So join.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's all random crap.
Yeah, exactly. We're just literally discussing like the lovely weather and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I got up early today and I was just outside all day really, just chilling in the garden. That was all really.
Yeah, I was up like quite early and then was out and about, and I had like a few things actually to catch up on as far because of all the election stuff. Like there was loads of shit that like I hadn't. Yeah. And because of like all of that, like there was a few things obviously that I hadn't done, like really boring shit, like different, like sorting the washing and doing this and that, like just really boring.
Yeah, sounds boring.
Yeah, it was. But so I did some of that, and then in the afternoon I felt so knackered. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have like a little afternoon nap. Like, oh my God. So, and then because it was quite warm anyway, so I like shoved the windows open, just had a nice little.
Yeah, because I normally keep the windows closed because it can get noisy and a bit cold, but today I just had to have them open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine, the windows open.
Oh yeah, it was.
So stuffy.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, in my house, at least, we don't have air conditioning. We all have central heating because it's so cold. There's no need for it.
Yeah.
And today, I think we could have used some air conditioning, to be fair.
Yeah, I think the whole nation could use something.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's a waste of time and money because half the time we'd use central heating, not air conditioning, so it's sort of the opposite.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah.
The local elections were interesting.
Oh, God, yeah.
Didn't
It was,
that.
yeah, Swiss did
The
the
Lib
stream.
Dems did well, didn't they?
Yeah, hashtag
Oh, yeah.
Lib Dems. Yeah, there were two,
Quite
that,
the
like,
Tories that are just liberals.
yeah, I mean, they got 75 gains, and there were, like, 2 off Labour's gains, I think, 77.
Yeah, and but they like, as far as considering how small the party is, like on a national scale nowadays, that was potentially, you know, as far as like percentage wise, a very big. I think it was a good night for them.
Yeah. Hashtag Lib Dem fight back stage
Hashtag.
1.
Yeah, and we joke about a fight back, but it's actually happening.
Yeah, it actually is.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I mean, the only.
Tories.
I mean, yeah, they are. Let's be honest. But anyway, what was I going to say? Like, I don't see them getting a 300-seat swing. What I see happening is getting to
it's going to happen. I'm telling you, it's definitely.
But let's be honest. I mean, Luke, like me and you would probably agree on this. Like, the centre ground is dying, and the politics is moving towards the left and right. It's diverging, isn't it? Let's be honest. So,
but if there was a winner in the locals, I have to say it's probably the Lib Dems.
Oh yeah, you would say that.
No, I genuinely mean it.
Well, Labour
like
did
Swiss
make the most
that.
gains. Well, I'd say I'd agree with that. I'd say, like, relatively speaking, Lib Dems did well, but like overall gains, it was Labour.
Oh
but
yeah,
I'd say the worst one was UKIP by far. They lost 123.
Oh yeah, UKIP got destroyed.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, the only reason the Tories only minimised their losses to like -33 was because of UKIP, I think.
Yeah, UKIP got absolutely destroyed, which is just sad.
But I mean, how can they, like, what's the point of the party now that, like, the only way I'd see UKIP rising again if, like, Theresa May capitulates totally to the EU.
Oh yeah.
She likely will anyway, but
with the customs union, the customs union shit, wasn't it? The whole on BBC News, I was reading about.
Lords put that amendment in the bill.
Yeah, and the not House of Lords, like the BBC, I was reading that apparently she might capitulate to the customs union.
Oh, she really not because she would piss me off if she did.
Yeah, but I mean, Jacob Rees-Mogg and his lot, they'd overthrow her anyway if she did that.
Yeah, good. So they should.
Yeah, but I mean, who, apart from Mogg, I don't see anyone good that could lead the party. That's the thing.
Yeah, Jacob Rees-Mogg or the Conservative Party dies.
Yeah, I mean, like Peter Hitchens loves to say, it's not a Conservative Party, you know.
Yeah, it's not a Conservative Party. There's nothing Theresa May.
Yeah, I mean, she's just what can I say? A neoliberal shill, basically.
She's the most horrific prime minister in the whole of the history of this country.
Well, another shit prime minister was probably Ted Heath because he took us into the bloody thing. Paedophile.
Well, I don't know. Has that been proven yet? I'm not sure.
Oh God.
But I mean, he was probably the worst because he put us into the shit we are in today because he took us into the bloody thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then people wanted to go into it, so I don't think.
He lied about it, and then he told us the truth.
Yeah, no, he lied about it. He said, "Oh, we will not surrender sovereignty at all."
Well,
and it turns out he signed it away in secret. He admitted it in secret that he did.
Yeah.
So,
biggest treason ever.
Definitely. I mean, people say we shouldn't leave the EU. I'd argue that we should have joined in the first place.
It's dying.
Yeah, exactly. What I say to that is, like, people say we shouldn't leave, but I say to that we shouldn't have joined in the first place. That's the thing.
Joined what was it? The ECC or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it was. It was first the European Coal and Steel Community, which was formed in 1952. Then it was the EEC, which was 1957. And then we joined in the 73, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we should have never joined in the first place. It was a big mistake.
God, yeah.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. But then again, it's funny because, like, people on Twitter, they blame the Tories for Brexit when they don't realise the Tories put us into this bloody mess in the first place by making us join. So they don't see the full picture, do they?
They don't see anything.
Yeah. Of course, it was the 3 stages of integration. You had, obviously, Heath made us join, Thatcher introduced free movement, and then you had Major with the Maastricht Treaty, which are the 3 big stages. And then you had Blair with Lisbon, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah, Lisbon Treaty.
Yeah, God, yeah. Oh, ridiculous. Oh.
That's going to be a long process to get everything back.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like they.
And not to mention all the EU laws that we've got to repeal.
Oh God, yeah. And
there's over 15,000.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's what the EU is. It's a bureaucratic machine that.
Yeah, it's a bureaucratic nightmare.
It is. That's all it does. It produces legislation on behalf of the multinational corporations. That's all it does. Let's be honest.
It's just.
Sorry, Angels. It's my channel, so.
Yeah, but like all we do is EU bash, and we're not like even putting like relevant arguments forward. We just do like.
Yeah, you would like the United States, yeah.
We wouldn't.
Angels.
I mean, the guy that founded it in the first place, he said in 1952 that was where it's heading. So
yeah,
we were warned about this, but nobody listened in 75.
Yeah, all the people knowing.
Yeah, I mean, it was how many people? Let's see: Tony Benn, Enoch Powell, Peter Shaw, Barbara Castle. There's so many of them that warned us.
Let's have this debate another day, lads. I'm too tired to sort it. So just argue amongst yourselves.
Okay.
All right. I will say though, thanks to Brexit, we did have this lovely weather today. Let's say that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, at least something came out of it.
Yeah. Lovely British weather. None of that. None of that. Cold misery from Brussels coming through.
Yeah. Death.
Oh God. Oh, Cameron, what was it? This thing you shared in was it the Times about the whole like Labour, like the EU is scared of Labour or something?
Well, it's saying basically the EU is scared of Labour influencing EU single market basically, left-wing politics.
Yeah, so it's like, they don't want socialism to corrupt their lovely neoliberal central.
And basically, they don't want a successful left-wing example outside the EU.
Yeah.
Encouraging people to leave.
Do you know, I'm actually going to bugger off to Holland shortly. I can't wait.
Oh yeah, go to the Netherlands.
Awesome. Yep.
All right, enjoy that free movement.
Yeah,
trust me, I will. I don't have to be in the alien queue, unlike you lot that are going to have to put up with.
Well, let's be honest. I'd much rather be in. I'd much rather. Well, Angels. It always comes down to this. I'd much rather be in the alien queue than be part of a political project.
Oh no way! You're kidding. Like when I went with my friend that had a retard passport, she was like there for fucking ages, getting grilled about this and that. And
well, that's not our problem.
And then I was rocked up, automated, straight through, other side, sorted, was in the bar drinking, free gin and tonic. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah, but
I will never swap that for the world. Get over it, and that's it. That's that, and I'm keeping it, lads.
I'm not swearing allegiance to the EU. Forget the EU.
Yeah, fuck the EU.
Yeah,
I cannot wait to get back to civilization. I will be back.
You with your United States of Europe bullshit. Enjoy that, mate.
It's not about that, but you enjoy your alien queues and taking like fucking hours to go through customs for no reason.
Don't stop.
Your arguments are very materialistic. I'll just say that.
All right, well that might be true, but at the end of the day, at least I will be straight through sipping G&T whilst you're in this queue crying about.
We won't be in this queue. Let's be honest.
What? Because you probably never use your passports anyway, or do you even own one?
No,
I do.
Oh, EU.
I do visit the bloody EU. I go to nicer places to visit.
Yeah, I want a blue passport. The gold stuff.
Yeah, that old chestnut.
Yeah, because you don't like it.
Not really. It's just that I actually use my freedom of movement to my advantage. You guys clearly don't.
Well, we can't. I can't afford to go to Europe all the time. So stop it. Let's stop being so privileged with this.
Oh, shut up. It's part of my job, Cameron.
No, it's not
Liberal
corrupt.
privilege. That's what it's
You
called.
work for
Liberal
the UN.
privilege.
Which is even more corrupt.
It's not about being privileged. It's about doing my
You work
job.
for the UN. Which is
Oh,
No,
more
yeah.
corrupt.
I work for myself actually, technically, but yeah.
The issue is nobody's gonna care when they can't do it themselves, and that's
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
I meant.
I don't give a care. But when it collapses, I collapse.
Yeah, when it
The whole
collapses,
thing is,
when it
you lot can like be in your alien queues and have your bullshit like stuff.
Europe is
But
going to
at
fight
the end of the
back
day,
EU.
it doesn't matter because I'm not going to lose mine. So that's that.
Many
You just
people
have to get
in
over it.
mainland Europe don't want the EU. Understand? Many people
I
don't want it.
I don't understand a cat.
yeah, and I've heard that Italy
Of course you
is,
don't understand
is
the cat.
I've heard
Just
Italy.
sit there and meow.
All right, I've
No,
heard
no,
Italy.
no. Go back to Centralist Europe.
Oh please.
All right, I've heard Italy is going to have a referendum on the euro, and I God hope that they vote to repeal the euro.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hope
and go
they
back
do.
to the Italian lira where they should have gone back.
No, we'll see. But
The euro
I
is a
tell you,
failure. The euro is a failure.
Yeah, the
and
EU's
I
a
hope it-
failure.
I'll stop banging on about the same rhetoric the whole
It is
time. Because it's
corrupt,
all
and
empty
you
and it's
can't
all
say
bollocks.
it because you're oblivious.
You
All right.
keep banging on about the same empty bullshit
Oh yeah,
the
and
whole
what
time.
about
So
all the
just
pro-EU
get
people
over
keep
it.
banging on?
All right, change the subject now because I think she's getting a bit triggered.
All
now.
right.
No,
Bob Elvis says
but
order.
No. Let's listen to what Angel has to hear.
All right.
I wanna
It's
listen to what she
all
has
the
to say.
same empty bullshit and it's backed up by little to nothing.
Yeah,
so I think
saying about the
Cameron's right.
pro-EU
Therefore, move on. Move on.
Oh,
I'm just saying that the EU's going to die.
well, it is.
I'm not interested. You know, we're all going to die.
Yeah.
Well, the EU is
They're
going to
a
die
free
before we
person,
are. Let's
not
be
being a
honest.
slave to the EU.
Well, it really depends on your lifestyle, I suppose.
I hope I live quite long, so you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I hope I live to I reach 100 years old.
I mean, let's face it, I'm still super young, so I've got like.
Yeah. Oh God. Anyway. What-
Anyway, I can't wait to get back to Holland. It's probably going to be down.
Oh God, here she goes.
No, I can't wait though. It's an awesome country.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair enough. Like I like Europe, I just don't like the EU. There's a difference.
Yeah, I can't stand pro-EU politicians. I can't stand them.
Yeah.
Do you like Holland as a country?
Yeah, I like
It's
Holland. I
alright.
like the Dutch.
Yeah.
They're not
Which
bad
towns
people.
in like have you guys been to? Well, obviously Amsterdam's the big one, but like, have you been to other places in Holland?
I think I probably did. Like, this was when I was really little, when we did like a whole tour of Europe. That was when I was like 5, so I can't remember. Sorry. Because I remember I've been to Amsterdam quite a few times, but not like outside that. I know I've been to somewhere else, but that was when I was super little.
The canals, like I know it like everyone bags on about them. Obviously, they're like in the centre of Amsterdam, near the red light district in the Dam Square. But the like the way it's set up, like all the canals, the little bridges and stuff. For a capital, it's like super quaint. It's like really, really sweet. Like Amsterdam is so picturesque and so lovely. Like the
Yeah.
townhouses, the canals.
sounds
But it
Yeah,
is
but-
so nice, yeah. And actually, having said that, mind you, I suppose I wouldn't think it's expensive because I'm used to London prices, which is pretty much second to none as far as like the amount that you have to fork out for like, yeah.
Yeah,
Like a
that's
round of
because
drinks, for
they
example.
use-
2 drinks the other day, 15 quid. Nice.
Or
14.80
15
or
euros
something.
because that's they use the euro.
No. It's much cheaper than London. London is way more expensive than
Oh,
Amsterdam.
But like,
Oh,
London
God.
is
I would
like
never
a
use
separate
the
country,
euros.
though.
Yeah, and the worst thing about it is that obviously the wages are not scalable to the price. So even though you earn more wage-wise in London, right?
Yeah, it's like
It's not
it offsets.
the same scale.
It's sort of like you have to do that to offset the prices, if you will.
Well, yeah, that's why so many people actually live outside London and commute there.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Well, yeah,
And
because you
that's-
have to because people are priced out. That's why.
Yeah. Exactly, and it's like a 1-bedroom flat in like central London cost upwards of like 1 million.
Yeah.
1 million. That's insane.
Yeah,
Mhm. But even out to London, and my parents live in the suburbs, right? In like the suburbs of Greater
Yeah.
London. Even a flat here, right? They built affordable housing, quote unquote, right? Here.
Yeah.
These are small flats with one bedroom and no garden.
Yeah.
They're
Well, that's the
700,000, and that's
What?
affordable housing.
700,000.
700,000.
Oh my god. My house at the moment is valued at 350, and it's like fully detached with like 4 bedrooms and stuff.
What?
This is all
Really?
madness. Now, I can buy
Yeah.
a detached house, right, around where I live, for about 100,000, 120,000.
Shut up, Cameron. I literally
This
couldn't
is-
even buy like a studio for that.
This
Really?
area,
You got
right?
like studios.
This area is one of the cheapest places in the country to buy a house. It's even cheaper because of HS2.
Mm.
The average house price in this council estate where I live in is about 90,000.
Yeah.
That is insane.
I actually have a friend who's studying medicine at Imperial College London, and his room he has to pay 9 grand for, and his room is like way smaller than mine, and it's ridiculous.
Mhm.
And it's just a small room
9 grand.
on campus, yeah. And I
9 grand.
yeah. And my room costs 6k, and it's like nearly double the size of his. It's ridiculous.
I think mine's is 3K.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you get up.
Yeah. What type of room do you have though?
Well, well, no, the one I put in for. What do you mean by what type of room?
like, because don't they usually have a choice? Like, because
The
with mine,
size.
yeah, like,
Oh yeah, there's like silver, bronze, and yeah, all that malarkey. I'm going for bronze right now.
okay. So what are the specs of the room?
Oh,
What
that's-
size bed and like what sort of stuff does it have?
It has a desk. It has a good view. I think it's double bed.
Double? No, it's probably they don't usually have double unless you buy a studio. I think it's 3
Hang
quarter.
on, no,
Is it?
double or king.
Oh wow.
I don't know. Wait.
Okay.
You showed
I
it
don't
to
know.
me, Gerd. I
showed it to you, but I'm not sure which one it is.
Okay.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
wow.
it's double,
Oh
but
wow.
Def.
It's a pretty sizable one anyway.
Yeah, mine's
Um,
was it premium accessible ensuite? It's a five.
Primo accessible.
Yeah. Mine's sort of like I got this like really nice room. It's like It's like 1.5 times the size of a standard. So
so it's like a massive one compared to the.
it's bloody massive, yeah. And it's like the bathroom. Like I've showed a few friends in there, and they're like, "Oh, it's double the size of my bathroom in my room." It's ridiculous.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I only have to pay 6k for it, so that's really good. And apparently, they said I might be able to keep the room next year. So that's nice.
Is that why you're saying that you didn't want to move, basically, because of the size of it?
Yeah, because that's what I think I mentioned. Like, it's either this, and I'd probably be with 5 first-year students, or go to a smaller room, but with 9 second-year students. I don't know what to pick. It's 5 first years is probably less bad than 9 second years, I think.
When you say less bad, in what way? As in
I
bad,
don't know,
good,
like,
bad, or?
But I mean, like noisy and stuff. But my flatmates have been pretty good this year. But when I've talked to people about this, they're like, if you're gonna have shitty first years, they're probably gonna be shitty second years anyway. Let's be honest.
All right.
point.
You get it anywhere you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
You find it
So,
anywhere
yeah.
you go.
And yeah, it still costs 6 grand. This room I'm
Which
gonna
is
move
an
to.
absolute rip-off.
Yeah, it's a rip-off compared to the room I've got currently because this room's huge. So
Right, I just looked this up. So a new 4-bedroom house near where I live, 160,000 pounds.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, smacks.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like you had, the really small, like terrace houses, right? There's one up the road from me, and a family friend owns one of them, and his next door neighbor recently sold up, right? And it honestly is just a 2-story, really small terraced house with like one of those tiny little, like a few steps in the front garden, which is gated, and like a yard, like not even a garden, right? His next door neighbor's house just went for over $500,000 for that.
What?
Yeah.
I live in a house like that. I used
half
to
a
go,
million
right?
for that?
Yeah, $500,000.
It was worth about
550k.
80,000. Worth about 80,000. So
Yeah.
what planet is it? You like living in?
It's just unbelievable. I agree. Like it's absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
The if I wanted just to get the reason why I'm now back not rent because I had a little place, like I was renting a little place because I give obviously some to my other half for the flat in Arnhem, which is small enough. But then I had a little place in Staines, but it's so insanely expensive. There's no point. The reason why I'm with my parents now is because, well, A, I'm an only child, so it's easier. So, you know, it's fine because I can give them rent and like save. But because if I were to rent somewhere here, I would be spending probably like, and I mean for a tiny flat, like a one-person flat,
Yeah.
£1,000 a month at least,
Oh my
probably.
god, yeah, no, because I've heard I know someone whose friend did computer science here, and he did his placement was worth I think 38 grand, but most of it was actually offset by London prices because like you said, I think he had like a tiny flat and it cost him 10k out of his 38k
Oh yeah.
budget. Yeah.
It's like I give because I give my parents 600 a month,
Okay.
and that is like super cheap. That's like half of what I'd be
Yeah,
spending if I'm
that's like a uni sort of flat pricing, I think.
yeah, because the good thing about this at the moment is that I'm sort of trying to save for a deposit on like you know, so I can buy somewhere basically.
Yeah.
Even though it looks unlikely that I would ever be able to buy somewhere, even on a decent wage, because this area is just insane, and
Oh,
especially
God.
yeah. So,
So is it like the more insane it gets, is the more centralized you go? Isn't that general rule?
yeah, it's like the problem is, you know how people say, oh, you know, because you're working around the southeast or London, your wages are higher. Now that is true.
Yeah.
You know, by on average, you do tend to get paid more, but
Yeah.
it's not like directly proportionate to what you spend
Yeah.
living cost wise at anywhere near it. So basically you pay through the nose compared to elsewhere in the country. I know that obviously employment opportunities are much better around the area, and also on average you do get paid more, but what you have to pay for is not at all proportional to it. So you're basically worse off in most ways as far as day-to-day living, if that makes sense. So and because it's just unbelievable, like you can't, I mean, there are people my age now, well into their 30s, who just you cannot afford to buy your own house. You just can't. You know, you're just locked into overly expensive rent, and that's it, because you can't save while you rent, because rent is so high.
That's what most people do. They don't even buy their own house nowadays. They just rent.
They call us Generation Rent, millennials, of which I am one. I understand I might be the older, but anyway, I might be the older side of it. But yeah, it's they call us Generation Rent because you know the rent prices are so high you can't save, so you're locked into that like cycle. But anyway, I'll be back in 2 minutes, lads. I'm just getting a call. So.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, so what was it? Three grand you have, Gerard, right? 3 grand.
Yeah.
That's not even that bad. That's like one of the some of the best value rooms you can get at uni. Let's be honest. That's
Liverpool has. I think Liverpool is one of the cheapest student accommodations in the UK.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know some people that have like 4 grand for student accommodation.
Yeah.
In Sheffield.
Yeah, I guess mine is like 6 grand because it's like Birmingham city centre and it's like a really like desirable sort of location, I guess.
Well, yeah, the more demand is, the more the prices are going to be raised. That's basic economics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like you have like a lot of students in like the second year, they go like a bit further out to the centre, like I think Selly Oak and a couple of other places because the houses are really cheap there. So what a lot of people in my uni do in the second year at least, they just rent a house together because it's way cheaper, like per head.
I think that's what most people do.
Yeah. No, I couldn't get that sorted. So, well, let's be honest. Much rather live in a flat, like have my own little space and rent a house. But I'm just living on campus, probably might be the same room next year. So I'm not too fussed.
Oh yeah, like unis, like once you look at prices like outside of like all that stuff, once you share a house with somebody, you realize the prices go down massively usually.
Oh God, yeah. Because I have relatives in Sweden. It's my dad's cousin. Well, he's married now. He has kids, so he has it in place. But before he was renting with a couple of friends of his, and that's why he said he rented because it was too expensive on his own. So yeah, but yeah, that's sharing a place is what loads of people do. Like normally during the uni or like straight after. Or like if they're trying to find work, then it's quite popular. So
I think a lot of people tend to do it after first year and once they realize it'd be a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sweden's an interesting country.
Yeah, I like Sweden, but the weather's really
Yeah, but Sweden right now is going through a hell of a lot of troubles.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, they have a lot of social issues over there. Because because
they're controlled by a left-wing government, socialist government. Actually,
is it?
Yeah.
Well, it's poor migration policies over there. What's causing that?
Yeah, and it was it Merkel who started off this whole thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. And by the way, Angels, I will never swear an allegiance to the EU. Never.
I prefer Finland and Denmark, but that's just me.
Finland is
Switzerland. Yeah, Switzerland's probably the best bet.
Well, in Switzerland, they have direct democracy.
Yeah, and the only problem with Switzerland is mandatory service for the army. That's like
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Well, you'd be mainly drafted into the UN peacekeeping forces.
Oh God!
I know
but they won't get organization.
What, the UN?
Yeah, the UN. I hate the UN even further than the EU.
I just see the UN as just toothless. Like, you can't give it too much teeth because, it was made to prevent a third world war, but at the same time, it's not really much you can do.
It is not stopped a whole bunch of other wars. It's just made things even worse.
Well, it was more meant to, instead of dropping a fucking nuke on Moscow, it's more, okay, you can put economic sanctions so they can make them change their policy by themselves.
Sanctions basically don't always work.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that was the idea behind it.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was set up to create world peace. Well, guess what? That's failed.
Yeah, the whole idea was to strangle them instead of stop them.
Yeah, it was to stop the communists from spreading.
Well, it was to stop, like, it wasn't just the commies that stopped the spreading. It was more just for stopping war in general.
UN was about communism.
I know it was about communism, but
the Soviets,
there was also the idea behind it of, using it for any other country.
Yeah, the Soviets played an equal part in the creation of the UN. Now we could talk about the San Francisco Conference. Well, that led to its creation. That was, attended by the Soviets. And the Soviets are great advocates of this. So it was about world peace.
Yeah, which that failed.
It's straight from that.
Oh yeah, like the UN was FDR's idea, and I think they made it like a couple of months after he died.
Yeah, FDR and Attlee basically created it. Attlee went over there to negotiate its creation with FDR.
Yeah.
Because you remember, Attlee was a part in a coalition with Churchill, with Labour and the Conservatives.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all one coalition.
Yeah.
I think the way they had it was that I think Attlee handled more domestic stuff and Churchill was handled the war. I think that's what it was.
Labour controlled domestic things, yeah. But you also see Attlee on diplomatic expeditions, like he did with the San Francisco Conference. And also, Attlee was pretty much in charge of the country when Churchill left the country.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, but yeah.
Oh, wow, that's quite interesting.
Yeah,
yeah.
but I do not like the EU one bit or the UN. Yeah, I kind of hate both of them.
Yeah. I've heard it's the EU. Well, both of them actually. It's about creating a one world government.
Yeah,
That's
one
what I've
world
heard.
order for the. Yeah,
Yeah, it is. Eventually. That's what all these
and the
people want.
UN is full of corrupt countries. It's full of corrupt countries. It really is.
If you look at the peacekeepers, UN peacekeepers, almost every couple of years, a scandal, a paedophilia scandal keeps coming up. Nothing's ever done. Now,
Hmm.
I talked about this on the Captain Swiss stream before.
Hmm. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, but I would never swear, and I would never swear an allegiance to the EU. Never.
It's like giving up your own country to someone else. It's sort of like it's not like it's sort of like the opposite of invasion. You're just surrendering to them at the first
Yeah,
opportunity.
that's basically like what we did to the UN. We basically surrendered.
Yeah.
You.
There's one counterpoint I have to throw in here. I don't think the UN, as it is, as the model is right now, as I'm talking, I don't think it really has the teeth to take over as the EU does. I don't think it's really as powerful as the EU.
And you know,
I mean, the UN can only really advise a country to do something. They can't really enforce it to do it like the EU can.
Yeah.
yeah, that.
Yeah, also a big issue with organizations associated with the UN. Now, the big ones are the IMF and the World Bank.
Oh, the International Monetary Fund.
Yeah,
Oh, that. Yeah.
yeah, they're basically giving countries loans like crippled countries.
Giving countries lots of loans and they have to pay it back.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. I mean
apparently-
that's how Greece got messed up.
Yeah, that's how Greece got bankrupt. It's because they took debts out which couldn't pay it back.
yeah. Mexico's another example.
Yeah, Mexico is a very poor country and a very corrupt country. It's very corrupt.
It's a shame, really, because if you look at Mexico, it's a huge country, lots of resources, high population.
Yeah, gorgeous. Yeah, it's a gorgeous country. It's just been run by corrupt people.
And it's heavy in debt because of the IMF loans that were given.
Yeah, IMF. Yeah, it is. It's just terrible.
I think it's only been within like the past 6-7 months that Ireland has fully paid back its debts
Oh yeah, because
to the UK that it got in 2008.
Oh yeah. Didn't Ireland go bankrupt?
Yeah, and then the UK bailed them out, and then they only
I don't think
paid.
the UK should have never bailed out Ireland. The UK should have never bailed them out.
Well, the UK does rely a lot economically on Ireland, so it would be within their interest to bail them out. And they only paid the full amount back within, like, I think the past year from 2008. Either way, now it's like I think it's Europe's fastest growing economy. So there's that.
Well, the thing
It's completely
Which is
bounced
quite
back.
interesting.
The thing
How
about
they were bankrupt a few years ago.
What is it?
I'm saying that it's interesting how Ireland is now the fastest economy growing. Were bankrupt a few years ago.
Well, boom and bust. That's sort of the way capitalism works.
Yeah, the boom and the bust of 2008.
Yeah. I've heard Swiss loves to say that apparently we might be in another recession soon.
Well, the thing
It
with
wasn't
capitalism
Bill Nye,
is there tends to be a recession about every 10-15 years.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're due for one.
well, we've had that way for quite a while.
Oh,
Yeah.
trust me, this one will hit, and it will be worse than the Great Depression.
It will. Well,
Yeah, it will be the
we
biggest recession the world's ever faced.
haven't learned from our last mistakes. That's all I'm saying on that.
Yeah, we haven't learned from the Great Depression. We haven't learned from the 2008 crash. It's going to happen
What we
again.
have is private and public debt is booming. What we have is ticking
Yeah,
time bomb.
it is. The debt's getting bigger. People keep trying to put money into the economy, which is not working. You know,
It's more or less which bubble's gonna burst first, because you have the student loan debt, you have the credit cards, the housing bubble starting to build up again.
I think they will all burst at all. Yeah, I think they'll all go at the same time.
We saw a bit of it a few months ago with the Dow Jones.
Yeah, the Dow Jones Stock Exchange. Yeah,
I thought when that down, it would happen. It seems to have recovered.
I'm just saying that this Great Depression, I can really say that no country will recover from it.
Yeah.
Because it will, and every single one of us, we will feel the effects of the crash.
Yeah, because the pound's gonna. People think
the pound's just going to collapse. Every currency is going to collapse.
Yeah, people say, "Oh, Brexit is going to lead to the pound collapsing," but I mean,
no,
you haven't seen anything. I mean, the pound's
no.
after
They have not seen anything yet. Wait until we get the biggest crash in history. Then they'll see what's going to happen.
When do you think it's going to be the next crash? I think it might be.
You can. All right, I have a thought on this.
Yeah.
I think if a crash happens and it's as big as you said it is,
it will be the biggest one in history.
You're gonna see the rise of the left. You're gonna see a lot more people radicalizing because they won't trust capitalism anymore. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah. Like the same in America. When the Great Depression hit in America, they went to the Democrats over the Republicans.
Well, Herbert Hoover wasn't the best president to ever go down.
The best one. He made things even more worse.
Herbert Hoover was basically wrong place, wrong time. He got the blame for what happened, even though it had been building up for ages.
Yeah. Blaming Herbert Hoover had nothing to do with the Great Depression. It was kind of the banks.
Yeah. He just got into office at the exact wrong time, and then was all blamed on him.
Yep. Oh god.
Yeah.
Only this time, it's the scary part. We don't have an FDR or Obama.
Yeah, so basically,
to take us out of it.
So basically, there's no one capable of who's going to govern through this entire mess of a crash. I'm just saying.
There is the argument that Bernie could do it, though. That would have it would have to hit before 2020 or after 2020 for that to work.
I think in the 2020s.
Wait, what?
I think it will hit in the early 2020s. It will definitely hit.
Oh. Hello, guys and girls.
Yes.
Oh,
that and you've seen a lot of now. The US media doesn't like reporting this, but in the past couple of months and years, you have seen Republicans sort of deregulate the markets. The regulations that were put in so 2008 doesn't happen again.
Oh god, that's just going to lead to the acceleration of the crash.
Oh god, yeah. Oh, because that's one of the big reasons. If you have
no regulations, then the whole system is going to collapse on itself.
Yeah, because it's like you have deregulations, like holy shit, what do we do now? That sort of thing.
Well,
it's just yeah,
I know. It's just gonna. No one has actually learned anything from the Great Depression or the 2008 financial crash. No one's actually learned anything from them.
The way I see the whole deregulation thing is, it's like a game of Jenga. You take one out and it all falls apart.
Yeah. It's called the domino effect.
Yeah.
When this crash happens,
it will happen. It's going to happen one day.
Well, yeah, it's not when. But when this happens, what's going to happen? It's going to consolidate Chinese supremacy on the world's economy. It's going to be a switch in power.
Yeah, they definitely will. Yeah.
Because
Oh God!
yeah.
Imagine the employment rates are going to go up during the crash. The employment rates are going to go up.
Unemployment. Yeah, because
it will go up so far. People will be demanding change.
I think like during the Great Depression, at the height of it, the unemployment rate was around 25-26%.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah,
In
because I'm sorry, Karen.
Yeah, in this country, we actually got a bit. We got away with this country actually during the Great Depression. We got the worst of it. Not the worst, least worst of it.
Yeah,
Actually,
because
could,
in
yeah.
America, I think the economy shrank like 16%. I've heard.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got the worst of it because at that time, America, sort of after World War One, they became more isolationist and a lot less countries relied on them. It was only like World War Two they sort of became the main world superpower.
Yeah.
It was
It's not the
basically,
case because America's not isolated. It's not isolated anymore.
basically, we had to sort it, but we could actually very quickly. It was the French and the Germans who really suffered.
Oh yeah, the Germans. They had to deal with the hyperinflation everywhere.
Well, Happy Fish was before that.
Hyperinflation.
That was
Oh
before.
yeah, the economy collapse. Yeah.
That was about debt and reparations to the French.
Yeah.
Now, remember, the French occupied the road.
Hey, sorry about that.
Oh,
We're
hello.
talking history.
Oh, okay, that's good because my history sucks. So you can school me.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
pro
so
EU angels.
the French occupied the road and took over its industry, took the profits. Germans couldn't pay the reparations, and that triggered the whole hyperinflation thing.
Yeah. It's just. I do think that this crash will be bigger than the Great Depression. It will be.
Oh shit! Should I mute James just a second?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Probably.
It always moved itself, I think.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, because he said in the side chat he's like walking with food or something. So it's not a good idea.
I don't know how countries around the world are going to get out of the mess when this crash does hit.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's probably going to go backwards at this point in terms of like civilization and all that.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to prove we're going to need to change things, how we do things. We've got to change the purpose of money. What is money? We need to ask these questions because money is based on faith, and that's it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's not based on anything physical.
Can we actually read the side chat? Because I think Rahi is being like ignored, and he obviously is a bit gutted about that.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, Rahi.
Sad times when the chat doesn't get ignored. Sorry.
He's going on about nationalising Greg's.
Yeah,
You don't love Greg's. I find
yeah,
Greg's really raggy, but whatever.
Yeah.
I said, I believe in renationalisation as a conservative person.
Well, I guess it depends on what you're renationalising.
Well, personally, I believe all public services.
Yeah, same.
No, yeah, but we had this conversation though, and you said that when you deem them as like essential services, so like not necessarily like because some things just are done better in the private sector. It's not like one or the other. Like I said, it doesn't have to be either extreme.
Means that the government doesn't own it. It means that we can't interfere. You know, and where's all the money going? You know, where's all the money going? Going to a foreign company?
Hello, Onyx. Onyx is in the side chat now as well.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Has decimated this country.
It has. I mean, that's why you saw after Thatcher came to power, everything got sold off for cheap.
Yeah.
I think it was Tony Benn who said that if it was councillors doing this, they'd be before the courts. But it's MPs doing it.
Yeah, MPs who are getting away with this.
And then it was obviously Blair who accelerated PFI.
Privatisation.
Yeah, and it was Major who privatized the railways and introduced PFI, and then it was Blair who basically finished it off with accelerating PFI and just privatizing the last little bits of industry.
Yeah, and basically, what has privatisation done for the United Kingdom? Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. Onyx says, "I swear you guys are live whenever I'm doing work." Oh, I don't know. This is probably like some sort of is it just a regular coincidence? I don't know. Private
Yeah,
enterprises
probably.
finding commercial goods.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But the thing is, like, it depends what you're talking about. Like consumer goods, fair enough, but the way that but the way that the private sector has interfered in our daily lives, like especially with the rise of multinational corporations, it's basically we're living in an age of corporate fascism, aren't we?
Yeah, corporate fascism, where the corporations have more power than the government.
Exactly. So there we are. I think things need to change and fast.
Yeah, we need to stop this stupid idea of privatization and renationalize our industries back.
Oh God, yeah, because our industry, we don't make anything anymore. That's the problem with the UK.
We used to be the world's producer of all kinds of things.
And I've heard it was as late as like the late 80s or something. Our economy was worth like what 30% in manufacturing. Now it's like what 10%.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Onyx says
It's less than that now.
It's less than that. Oh
Yeah.
shit. Wow.
Privatization has not worked.
Onyx says, "I swear you guys are live whenever I'm doing work."
Yeah, I just said that.
Which is probably good. Like, it means you can just have like us as background noise on it.
Yeah.
Right.
It says Rahiadi says now our railways are nationalised by other European countries and they get government subsidies. How is that fine? Like the money that we make from these railways doesn't go back
to our government. It goes back to foreigners.
Yeah, exactly. Like France and other countries.
And that money that the rails could go into the government could be used to fund the National Health Service and other things.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we're paying taxes, we're paying for the railways, we're paying for these things, and it's basically we're paying for other countries, basically.
Look,
we are.
Basically, robbed by everyone, and
that's what it is.
The current system in place is simply not fair. It's rigged, and we need to change it. But how? The question is, how do you change it?
Yeah.
Because Corby's not going to do all of this.
No.
It's not going to rein in all these private industries.
That's the thing. Cause it's like this day and age. It's like people are so scared of going too far. Like you need to put a line somewhere. I think that's why.
Yeah, like what is too far in this day and age?
Because the people, not people as such, but like the people in power, will literally shit themselves if we took over their private industries. If we actually if we reversed what happened, what like Thatcher and Blair, these sorts of governments did. If we reversed that, they'd shit themselves.
Yeah, because we would be taking our industries back.
Yeah.
Where is James? Fielding.
James is not on yet,
yeah, I've read. I think he mentioned something about food.
James, are you here?
I'm here. I've just got home.
Yay!
Yeah, he says, "Hey, you're currently walking home with a pizza and garlic bread." Oh, I might buy
exactly.
I might buy some pizza tomorrow. Thinking about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
I don't feel so outnumbered now.
Oh yeah.
Hello, Angels. So I've been to the pub.
Yeah.
I thought I'm absolutely starving, so next door to the pub was a takeaway. So I've obviously got a 9-inch cheese and tomato pizza and garlic bread with cheese.
You're making me hungry now, James.
Nice. Wow. That's nice. Well, my local pizza place, you can get an 8-inch pizza with 4 toppings for $4.49. It's not too bad.
Jesus.
Oh, that's not bad.
Jesus, that's like cheap as chips.
Yeah, and it's actually quite good. So.
Yeah, but
nearly as cheap as Wetherspoons.
Don't talk to me about Wetherspoons, please.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's a toy, but it's just a liberal toy.
Oh, liberal Tory. Yeah, tell me about it. Like Blair, Cameron, Clegg, they're all liberal Tories.
Kids, understand that? They're just liberals.
Oh
Yeah.
God, liberalism
Take your
is
dirty French
destroyed.
to the EU Commission.
Yeah.
We're gonna drag him into the bullet bunker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, are
I'm
you
gonna
gonna
find it
drag
again.
the entire EU Commission into the bullet bunker as well?
We could do that, James, couldn't we?
Oh yeah, including
Oh,
Guy
God.
Verhofstadt.
Yeah, we'll take him along.
Guy Verhofstadt is a creep.
Yeah.
We're gonna take the new centrist party with us too.
Oh God.
Oh God.
yeah,
Oh, so you're gonna take like Blair and his son then as well?
Well, his son definitely.
Yeah, but,
Oh,
but I
Angel
mean,
such.
it's like it's weird because it's like isn't usually like in politics like the son usually worse than the father, like Tony Benn and then you got Hillary Benn. It might be even worse than Blair. You never know.
Guy Verhofstadt in the bunker. Seriously, you want that?
Oh God.
Yeah, who else are we gonna take along, James?
Oh yeah. Why don't we take Mark Schultz, former EU president?
We'll take some of the more stomachable Tories, like sort of Justine Greening.
I'll
And
take
stuff.
Angela Merkel while you're at it.
You can take all the Blairites.
Oh
We
yeah,
can
take
take
all
some
the
of them, right?
take the Blairites.
German
Take like Jess Phillips and Owen Smith, like the worst of them.
Take the German Chancellor.
Oh God. You take David Cameron and George Osborne as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Dodgy Dave.
Take Dave Skinner. What do you
And
call his
listen.
name?
Don't take Skinner. Well, Dennis Skinner. Don't take him. He's proper lefty. Why would he would destroy the bullet bunker in one go? To be honest.
Yeah.
Skinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should take him. In fact, actually, he'll destroy the bullet bunker.
Have a argue with him
Jesus
have
Christ.
an
Yeah.
argue with the German Chancellor.
Yeah. Oh God. I think we should have like Dennis Skinner and like George Galloway like destroy the bullet bunker. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, I like.
Yeah,
to see them
no,
try-
we'll give those two the keys to the bullet bunker, and they can infiltrate and destroy it from the inside.
Yeah. I would like to see them having a massive argument with Guy Verhofstadt.
Guy Verhofstadt, he would say, all he says, I'm European, I'm European, I'm European. That's all he'd
Guy
say.
Verhofstadt, you're not European. You're Belgium and Flemish.
Yeah.
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 he's Flemish,
What
I can
was it? Nigel Farage said because Guy Verhofstadt was a Belgian president, wasn't he? So he was like
Prime Minister.
Prime Minister. That's
So
the one.
the
Because he
Belgian
had like
Prime
three. He was PM 3 times, wasn't he? Apparently.
Yeah. He got elected
And then wasn't it Nigel Farage who said Belgium is a non-country?
Belgium is an artificial country that's made of two ethnic groups, the Flemish and the French. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's made up of two ethnic groups. The French speaking in the south. In the west.
Oh,
it's just
Cameron.
complicated because Belgium is not even an actual country, it's an artificial country.
Oh, side chat. Cameron,
A bit like
someone
United
says you
Kingdom
post
with-
in the side chat is gold.
Yeah. Guy
Who was
Verhofstadt
the
is
leader of
an-
Labour, what criminal Labour Party further right? It was
Kinnock.
John Smith. No, it was Kinnock and Smith. Then
John Smith died,
Blair.
yeah, didn't he?
yeah, he died, and
Oh,
then
yeah, what
Blair
about
took it all the way to the
Kenny?
right. Yeah, apparently
yeah,
that was good and won the '97 election. Had he not died since Tories were
Angels,
shit.
take your EU to hell.
John Smith, yeah.
Oh,
No, there was Kinnock before war criminal.
I don't know
Yes,
why
that
you
was
keep
that
insisting
was
that we
John
have the
Smith.
EU.
Sorry. It was John Smith.
Angels, why do you want the EU so much?
why do you not want the EU so much? And don't give me your rhetoric.
What rhetoric? Most Europeans don't want it.
Your empty
But
cat
we use
rhetoric.
people. What rhetoric?
Cat rhetoric.
Well, we don't. Well,
It's not.
we
rhetoric.
don't want that. We don't
Try
want
and
that.
say that to the Eastern Europeans.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
we
like
don't want the
Lord
EU
Justified,
because we
try
know
and say
we
that.
know what it would become, and we don't want to be part of what it would become.
Yeah, like Angels,
Yada.
the people in Hungary, they don't want to be part of the EU. But they
Well, the people in Hungary are clearly nuts.
No, they're not. Viktor Orban's a great prime minister.
No, but they haven't like voted in some like nutcase. Anyway, I'm not interested.
Viktor
Carry on.
Orban is better than our government, by the way. He's welcome here.
Don't think that, but okay. And
Oh,
also,
yeah.
you're getting a little
Because
bit brave,
Viktor Orban's
Luke, for my
right-wing and
liking.
you're
So
centrist.
you don't want to carry on. What did Onyx say?
I don't know what you were going on about.
Onyx said in the side chat Smith had 2 heart attacks. I thought it was just a very sudden thing that he.
Yeah,
literally-
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
I didn't think that
Wow.
he had like.
People do not. Right, people never asked for the EU in the first place. People never ask for
Oh my God, Luke! Please just shut up. Can we just move on?
Do you want to
something
go
else,
to
please.
show up?
Enough.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she does. That's the
Yeah, she
story.
does, and she can't admit it.
Well, she has told me she wants one anyway.
Yeah.
No, I'm not really interested in
You are
what you
interested in
assume that I want and don't, because I thought that we had moved on from this conversation. You keep banging on about the same
No.
empty point over and
You
over
keep
and
going
over and
about it.
over again. So move
Sure.
on. Shut up. Move on.
Oh, yeah, because she doesn't want to talk about it.
Because there's no point. You just end up going round in circles.
No, there's no point with you people.
All right, fine. Carry on.
Yeah. I was reading the side chat. Onyx says he had a heart attack in 1988 and then died in 94.
Oh, you mean so he had a previous?
Smith, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I thought so.
Oh,
Because
God.
I thought it was just quite sudden, like when he died in 94, it was like a shock.
Yeah.
I remember it being like a shock, and
Yeah.
people were like,
Yeah.
because I do actually remember that. I was like 12.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. And then obviously Blair came along, infiltrated the Labour Party with his middle class globalist.
Blair came along. Yeah.
Oh. So Asim, new left. You say that Blair took Labour to the right.
Yeah.
But if you remove
the left.
No, he didn't take him more to the left. He took him more to the right, as Mr. Legsit said.
Yeah.
But if you take Iraq out of it, then surely if you look at most of his policies, you can make the case for privatisation and PFI deals, but things like Sure Start, minimum wage, these are not like right-wing policies, So
well, I make the
I've never
argument that
understood the theory
any
of-
Labour government would have done that. It wouldn't have just been Blair. I think any Labour government would have to do that in order to keep their left-wing voters. Yeah,
No,
I mean, it's sort of...
No, you understand that.
I don't think all the Labour MPs would do that.
No, I just meant like on a general policy platform, they sort of have to do those things to keep their voters. It's not like, I was just saying, it's like they can't get rid of sort of more left-leaning policies because they sort of they can't alienate their voters.
But you said that Blair took the Labour Party to the right, where that you can make a case for that, and you might be right. But surely, if you look at his policies, mostly they were quite soft left. People, and what annoys me with when people bang on about Blair, I'm not his biggest fan of him, but I would defend him in some ways. If you take Iraq out of it, and at the time, the majority of the people in the House of Commons voted for Iraq. The majority of when they had the opinion polls, both were in support of it. So if you take Iraq out of it, he wasn't that much like right wing Labour. He was more like a soft left.
Yeah.
Ed Miliband type. That's in my opinion, anyway.
It wasn't. Right, he make all if you want. It's obviously going to make some left thing because he's in Labour. But what you need to forget, he continued back his legacy.
Yeah. Rahi Ali says this really well. New Labour was socially left but economically right. I mean, that's what neoliberalism is.
Yeah.
It's all about
that's
social liberalism and economic liberalism. That's what it is.
Yeah, economic liberalism, not economic nationalism.
But aren't most people, you describe yourself as, is it socially right or economically
conservative? Socially, well, that basically the opposite. Yeah, so more economically left, but socially right, I'd say.
Right. Okay, but I think the majority of people in this country, going by like the past 30 and 40 years.
Yeah, but I mean that's where I think anyway. That's where the country is heading: more economically left and socially right, generally in opinions of people.
Well, yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, Tony Blair at the time was just following what the people at that time were thinking.
Yeah, but I mean, he was very disingenuous how he got into power. He masqueraded himself as a socialist and Eurosceptic when he was none of those things, and he used that to get into power. I just found that a bit sort of like, really?
I felt like he cheated
I don't think Tony Blair's ever been a socialist.
No, and he masqueraded as a Eurosceptic. He actually said that in public he disagreed with the EU, but in private he was fully for it. So that's what I find disingenuous as well.
But I've seen the comment what you just said. You've got to remember, people can change their minds. I'll make an example.
I'm not saying that they can change their minds. I meant that's how he got into power. He said one thing and got to the other. That's how he got the ranks. he just says these things, where he actually said that he agreed with the policy behind closed doors, but obviously not in public, because obviously at that time Labour was a Eurosceptic party.
Right, okay. Right, so you banged on before about Corbyn voting Leave privately and has told his close friends, but then he went on the campaign trail for 3.5 months saying we should remain in the EU. Isn't that just doing the exact same thing that Tony Blair did 20-odd years ago, and you're criticising one fella and praising the other?
It's different circumstances, you see. Well,
how is it different circumstances?
Blair used this to get into power, whereas Corbyn used this.
And if Corbyn said, I'm a Eurosceptic and I'm wanting to leave, they would have voted him out the party, because the majority of the
because I heard he did a deal just to save his ass, basically. That's what it is. So it's sort of different circumstances, if you will. It's like Blair used that to get into power, whereas Corbyn used that to sort of save him. It's different circumstances, I would say. That's how I would say it.
No, it's people bang on about. I mean, as you know, I'm not a Corbyn fan at all, but people bang on about him having principles and this. But if he was so principled, why didn't he back the Leave campaign?
He was in a tough position where he actually made a deal. I was reading about this. He actually made a deal with the Blairites to campaign for Remain, so they can sort of, not like keep him, but like sort of delay sort of their little thing, the coup thing. And I've heard that privately he actually said to his team, "Oh, I'm gonna vote to leave," and apparently like McDonnell and a few others did vote to leave as well.
That's fine. He can vote Leave or Remain, but to me, it's just the same as what Tony Blair did 20-odd years ago. He told the public one thing and then did the other. All politicians do that. That's a fact. So people bang on about Corbyn having principles, where he would back a Remain campaign just to stay in power. So it just totally contradicts everything, and it comes across with Labour members at the moment a bit double standards. The right to criticise Tony Blair for what he did with Iraq, PFI deals, fair enough, but as soon as Corbyn goes against his back and says, right, I'm voting Leave privately, but I'm going to campaign for 3 months, tour around the country and convince people that we're going to Remain. It's just double standards to me, but obviously I'm sure you'll disagree.
No, James, you're right. You're absolutely right. You are.
I mean, like I said, I'm not a Tony Blair massive fan. I probably wouldn't vote for him now, but he gets a bit of a hard time off left-wing Labour members because of Iraq. If you take Iraq out of it, most of his policies are soft left, maybe a bit to the right. But at that time, that's what the country wanted. The country voted him in 3 times for a majority of over 100 twice and nearly 70 the other time. That's what the country wanted. So, I mean, I think to defend Tony Blair a bit, I'll just think some left-wing Labour members do come across a bit double standards when comparing the two. But yeah, I'll leave it to you, New Left.
Yeah, I mean, you've hit on a few points there, but it's sort of like, how should I say this? Like, people at the time, that's what they wanted, but now it's changing, so you can't really use 97 and 2010. Like, you were saying to me, like, these were the policies that got into power, so therefore this is what they want. That's what you've said to me before, but that's not the case. I think they need to change, if you will. And he said, Onyx makes a good point, actually. He said he only got 35% of the vote in 2005. And the thing is, it's first past the post as well, you have to remember. It favours incumbent governments. That's another thing as well. It's first past the post, because I think in 2001, he lowered the vote from 43 to 40. I'll look at the numbers, but...
Yeah, first past the post broken.
But Hillary Clinton won 3 million more votes than Trump, but people don't bang on about that.
Yeah,
so
but that's a different system. Yeah, you've got the electoral college, and you've got.
Yeah, I know that.
Parliament doesn't really look anything. How what people vote for?
Well, I don't want to make it the American system. It's completely different, and this is not America.
We should have PR in this.
American
Not
election.
first past the post.
I can talk about almost every American election, and how it was a bit dodgy. We could talk about Bush. That's a big
Oh yeah, George Bush's election was very controversial.
Oh.
Oh, I think James is having a problem.
Oh. Anyway, what were you saying, Cameron?
Yeah, you can see Blair's left wing. You remember he deregulated the banks. His horses actually made the 2008 crash a lot worse than it was. And this is what everyone forgets. Labour deregulated the banks and they empowered them. They favoured social services. They ignored the northern heartlands. They had a mass immigration policy without planning. They're building less houses than even the Tories are doing now, which is a complete embarrassment. Now, any idea is left wing or principled. Yeah. It's a bit delusional.
And did you see his Tony Blair Institute stuff?
Yeah.
Where one of his latest posts, it was like talking about a balanced migration system, and yet he keeps banging on about, we're leaving the EU, people are racist, it's about immigration. But
yeah.
Wait a minute, Blair. Like, if you didn't open up the borders like that in 2004, like you did, we might not even be leaving. You know, it doesn't make sense. Why are you talking about these things now when you could have done them when you were actually in power? It's a bit, it doesn't make sense. Oh, sorry. What I was saying was, like, with Blair, like, he says all these things, balanced migration, ID cards, we need all these things to satisfy people. But why did you do this when you were in power, and why did you open up the borders like you did in 2004? It's ridiculous.
It's just so bad. It really is.
God. It's just, I think, personally, like Blair opening up the borders to 10 new EU countries in 2004, I think that was a big reason on the immigration side of why people voted leave, because Blair said that it would be 13,000 more immigrants every year, and it was more than 10 times that every year.
Yeah, so basically he lied about that.
But then again, he's a globalist shell. He loves mass migration for the cheap labour, remember?
Same as Theresa May.
Oh yeah, Theresa May. Yeah. And Theresa May, you mustn't forget. And you mustn't forget that from the leaked plan, from the so-called proposals for an immigration policy, it's going to be very similar to free movement to what we have now as well.
Not a disaster.
Well, look, if they add massive immigration, open up the borders, right? Still will leave. Simply because most areas had low immigration that voted leave. It wasn't about that. It was me that played on it, basically. These persons voted leave are the poorest parts of the country, the forgotten parts of Britain, who wanted a change, basically. Want something different. And what happened 2 years ago was inevitable for years. Probably since Thatcher. Because we didn't do anything about the north of England. We didn't do anything about their economy or the high unemployment, which still persists today.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how the economy works. Like, after Thatcher came in, that's how they basically remade the economy. It was designed for cheap labor, 0 hours contracts, insecure pay. That's what it's about.
That's what it was built on.
Yeah, exactly. You need the cheap labor in order for it to survive, and you can't do that unless you sort of
Margaret Thatcher, she was many things. But she destroyed the United Kingdom. She decimated people's lives.
Yeah, she destroyed the miners as well.
Yeah, with coal mine. Yeah.
Oh God, and and she did deregulate as well. Don't forget that as well.
Yeah, by getting regulations.
Coal mines. It was actually Harold Wilson that closed more coal mines than Maggie Thatcher. Just thought I'd put that out there before you slag off Thatcher. No. But yeah, going back onto that, I actually think she was actually... Luke, you're a Tory, aren't you? So what's your opinion of Thatcher?
I didn't like her because she went too far with the privatised thing. She went too far with privatisation by selling everything off. So no, I don't like her.
Because that's quite strange, actually, because you're conservative, you're for national...
Yeah, but
Just
it's
for
not like
nationalisation.
so is Peter Hitchens. He's a conservative and he's for nationalising.
Yeah,
public
so not
services.
all
I mean,
conservatives believe in private decision. I believe in nationalisation.
exactly. I mean, it's a fairly new thing with the right. It's not so much the true right, it's the centre right, if you will, that peddles the line about mass migration and neoliberalism. It's more the centre right that does that.
Yeah.
Not the so-called true right, if you will. That's why you had the shift in the 80s and 90s towards this economic model. That's how the centre and centre right stayed in power. It was all through this sort of Thatcher and Reagan. Was it Reaganomics? That sort of, that sort of thing. So it's not so much. It's like with the left. You can't really compare It's like with the left. There's so many different types of parts of the left. You can't really compare them all under one brush. Same with the right. That's how I'd put it. So yeah, because it's a bit contradictory. It's like with the sort of like the centre left. Well, sort of like the centre left. I'd put it like they're for the migration and cheap labour and stuff. So I'd class it. How I'd class it personally is true left and true right, and then you have the centre ground. So you have centre left, centre right, centre. That's how I'd class the whole system.
And also far left.
Far left and far right, of course. Yeah. Far left and far right, of course. Yeah. Yeah. Well, personally, where I see the political spectrum is going is it's drifting further away from the so-called centre ground. It's going towards the true left and the true right. But let's be honest, the only parties that not like appeal to people, but like offer that sort of thing at the moment are the far left and the far right, and that's where people are going, flocking
far
to.
Left and the far right, like fascism.
Yeah, exactly. Across Europe, that's where it's going to. The far left and the far right.
In the UK, there's no way we need fascism in the UK.
Yeah, privatisation exists on the left and the right. Yeah, like I just said, it's the so-called centre ground where it exists.
Yeah. It doesn't. It can be used for either.
Yeah, exactly, and but going into illegal wars and causing the deaths of hundreds of thousands are pretty bad.
Yeah, I know. First, I don't believe in wars. I'm a pacifist.
No, oh, absolutely, same here. It's like, why should we go into their countries when they're not going into ours? It's like, if they bring up troops to our shores, then fair enough, we should fight. But that's not. We're going into them without them doing stuff to us. It's not fair.
Yeah, I know. It's a waste of money when we could be spending that on other things.
But it was for money. It was for the oil. That's the problem. It's for money. That's how armed companies make the money. Blair did deals with BAE, and of course, I think it was something about what Theresa May's husband before that. Was it the stock prices went up after she bombed Syria, wasn't it?
Yeah, bomb Syria. Yeah, bomb.
That's all they do now. Exactly. There's no ground troops. That's what we should be doing in war. We should be training more ground troops. All we're doing now is droning countries.
Personally, I think we should be rebuilding the army.
Exactly, and that's what actually it's funny because that's what Stiser would agree on you with as well. He's pretty left wing, well, not pretty, very left wing, and he says, instead of doing all this not bombing nonsense and destroying countries like that, we should be building up the army and confronting directly. That's how conflict should work.
Yeah, I see it from a very pacifist view. I don't believe. Yeah, even though I'm a pacifist, I believe that wars are the last option.
Last option. Yeah, it's like I said.
I would never take war as the first option.
Yeah, but that's how it's done nowadays. It's always war because war equals money. That's the problem.
Because most of these politicians are in favour of this warmongering agenda, not pacifism.
No, but that's the whole. Sorry, going back to the centre ground again. That's with the whole neoliberal centre. That's how they make their money. That's capitalism for you. So it's all about how can we make some more money, and that's why people always want war, especially in the lobby groups in America and even here they want more war because then they could make money with say BAE and Lockheed Martin and stuff like that. They just make money. The biggest beneficiaries of war are not the civilians, they're not the troops, they're not the governments. They're in fact the people that
don't care about the civilians.
Yeah, it's the people that produce the weapons that are biggest beneficiaries of war.
Yeah, I mean, hi. It's convenient that Dick Cheney was on the board of the Halliburton Group, and then conveniently, when it becomes VP and Iraq starts to get rolling, there are no bid contracts for his own company.
Yeah.
That's convenient.
That is very
Hi,
strange.
yeah, that's a big quinky dink. I'm sure there was no link there at all.
But Dick Cheney was also on the new project for a new American century, and that project.
Yeah, and they had all those countries that they were going to invade, and the last two were Iran and North Korea. Look what America's doing now.
Yeah.
North
Korea,
was
they're
well.
going into good relationships with the South.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's apparently I think like Chamchi would say, because he lives there. It's despite Trump, because obviously not just Trump, but like America in general, all the lobby groups that want to go into North Korea.
Well, what's quite interesting is Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen were on the list.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
really?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I just knew like Iraq, Iran, North Korea, Syria. Those the big countries.
Well, Somalia, they're in the civil war.
I didn't know about Somalia and thingy. I didn't know about those.
Somalia
The only ones
is in the civil war.
Yeah, the only ones I'd heard of were like Iraq, North Korea, Iran. You know, the big countries that the news loves to
the
talk
big
about.
powers.
Yeah, like not the big powers, but like the big countries that the media loves to talk about. Like, oh, these are the countries you should hate.
Yeah.
These are the countries you should go into war. You know.
Remember Bush talked about the acts of evil? They remember that when George Bush talked about the acts of evil. Was it North Korea, Iran?
No, I don't remember that.
Right, I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, this is interesting. I haven't heard of many of these things you're talking about. Actually,
I don't know that there's many politicians in Parliament that are pacifists.
No, but that's the whole point. Most of them are in the centre ground, centre left, centre right. Like I was saying, because it's near, like Rahi Ali said in the chat, neoliberalism and war go hand in hand, and they're all part of that.
Yeah.
Here we are. Project for a New American Century.
I personally find wars to be a waste of time, waste of money, and
it is, and it's just the
and
people that suffer
don't get it. It's because they want to make money.
Yeah, I mean
it's just
it's about money, and the people that suffer aren't the troops. They aren't the government. It's the civilians.
Messed up the Middle East so badly.
Yeah, and the thing is like the people that run the wars, they won't even get affected by it. It's the politicians in the suits and stuff. They run the wars. It's not the people.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel sorry for the people in Syria and Iraq that are getting bombed.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, it was like after the terror attacks that happened recently, they were like, oh, why are the people coming out to our country and doing to this? And then it was Corbyn who said, wait a minute, we went into their countries, so, you know, I'm not surprised that they were doing to our countries, you know. If you're going to go into someone's country and do something without their permission, then accept consequences.
These politicians make me laugh the way they keep reacting. Oh, yeah, well, guess what? Of course this is going to happen because you went into the Middle East and you bombed their country.
And then whenever the media got wind of that, they were like, how dare you say that? How dare you say our foreign policy is wrong?
Well, I'm sorry. The media, that is the truth. We went into their country. We completely destroyed it.
Yeah.
And they came back and gave us a bit of their revenge.
Put it this way. The way I see it is, somebody just sneaks into your house, knocks over your TV, breaks everything in the room, and then they go, you can't be angry at me.
Yeah. No, and they walk out the door and all they say is sorry. That's it.
Sorry?
Yeah, that's what we did. That's what America and the NATO powers. That's what they did when we invaded Iraq. And we just said sorry to them. We didn't even do anything.
Yeah, I put the link of the Acts of Evil speech by George Bush. I recommend listening to it because quite interesting in terms of foreign policy.
Yeah,
even today,
we should not even be in the Middle East. We should leave that area alone.
Can you read out the side chat, please? And by the way, I very nearly fell asleep then.
Okay. We're just discussing foreign policy. So
yeah, foreign policy, warmongering.
Yeah, And Rahi Ali says, for every 5 Middle Easterns we kill, GDP goes up by 0.0001%. Oh, I didn't know that. Modern day colonization and robbing of resources without the colonies and developing the land. Yeah. The largest problem with the war was how they just sort of left the country in chaos rather than actually making sure the country would be stabilized. Exactly, that's what we do in the Middle East, and we go into these countries without their permission, and we just fuck them up, and then we don't say anything. We just walk out of there. We don't do anything.
I read an interview with an Iraqi. This was a while back. I forget where this was, but he basically said it was better living under Saddam Hussein because you may have to have followed really strict laws, but at least you had a job, and you didn't have to walk down the street fearing of a car bomb going off or getting shot.
Iraq continues to flaunt its hostility toward America and to support terror. The Iraqi regime plotted to develop anthrax and nerve gas and nuclear weapons for over a decade.
What is that? Is someone listening to?
He's Cameron.
Oh, to George Bush.
Oh God! And what was it? The whole
George
thing about 45 minutes, wasn't it? No, they can send their stuff to us in like 45 minutes, right?
Yeah. It kind of talk about 9/11, then went straight to North Korea. Like we're blaming them for it. It's really odd.
Yeah.
Could you hear it in the background?
Yeah, I could just hear it then. It's like his voice and his accent is like unmistakable. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh God.
The thing with North Korea giving up their nukes is whenever they go to America, they go, "You did the same thing with Libya. You did the same thing with Iraq. You did the same thing with Syria. The three of these are somehow you went on and invaded later on. How did I know you won't do this to me?"
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be Kim's mindset going into the talks.
Oh Christ, Jesus, he's calling me. Back in a sec.
All right.
So yeah, you'll use the whole thing of past things the US have done, and they probably would did North Korea. You know, you give up all your defenses, then you're surprised when you get hit. So that's why I don't think they're gonna give them up. I think they'll just go, okay, we'll get rid of the ICBM, so there's no way of hitting you, but we have to keep watch of the South and Japan anyway, just in case.
And
they'll probably promise not to do any preemptive strikes. But I don't see them getting rid of their nukes. That's just me.
That's true. But yeah, I mean, the talks are quite positive, to be fair. I mean, do you think the North and South will reunite or not?
No. Not. They probably can in the future, but not right now. I still don't think...
They're so different, though. They're so vastly different.
Yeah, I don't think the North right now is prepared for capitalism. After having, like, what is it, near enough 100 years under communist rule?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they're ready yet. And even then, I don't think the Kim dynasty is ready to hand over power to anyone that's elected.
Yeah, because it's about... because they want a reunited Korea under them, don't they? So,
yeah, both want a reunited Korea under their system.
Well, right. For Kim Jong Un, right, he's not as extreme authoritarian as you think. He even admitted to his chef, right? It's on the documentaries, it's online, right? He basically told this person that he wants to reform North Korea to be like China. Now, you say he's a warmonger, but I don't think he is. I think he's playing politics. Now, when you got a country, right, that's been threatened to invade you for decades, what are you going to do to prevent them? You're going to develop nuclear weapons, and you're going to show the world you're going to use them. So, I don't think Korea is a warmongering state as you think it is. It's a very corrupt and very nasty state, but it's not the one that wants war. And you can see this because it's willing to negotiate. And for years, we've been offering the Americans to denuclearize if America withdraws its troops from the Korean Peninsula and leaves free alone and starts doing military exercises, but the Americans keep rejecting it.
I'm back.
All right.
But I think the biggest obstacle to peace has always been the Americans.
Um,
And that as soon as Americans shut up, basically.
Yeah,
start getting
but
along.
that's the thing with America. They believe they can police the world. You know, even after all the shit they've done for the past few decades.
Well, Americans think they want to control the world. They want to control the world.
Control the world. Yeah, exactly. And did you see that? That guy, was it that American guy that like George Galloway absolutely destroyed him when he called into the show? It's hilarious. Where he's like, "Oh, you can't like question America's power and shit like that." It's ridiculous.
Do you remember when he destroyed Christopher Hitchens on the back wall?
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
He destroyed him.
Hmm. Yeah, I need to. I think you've linked it before. I'll have a look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have a look. Because didn't they have Didn't the Hitchens brothers have a huge debate as well? I can't remember when this was.
Yeah, that was on religion.
Religion. Okay.
Apparently, Peter Hitchens were tricked into it.
Yeah. Oh, really? No, because he was. He said that I think it was when he was interviewed by Owen Jones when he was like, "Oh, I didn't realize where I was, but loads of people were cheering, and then I realized it was for Christopher Hitchens." So, yeah, and they were all shocked when they saw him there. So yeah. Because isn't I've heard Peter Hitchens was like an atheist, but then he was like he's now a pretty religious sort of Christian, isn't he?
He used to be a Trotskyist. I used to live in the Soviet Union.
Oh yeah. And then what about Christopher? Because I don't understand. What is Christopher's sort of political views? Isn't he more like Blairite, basically?
Yeah, basically Blairite.
Okay.
He used to be hard left like Peter Hitchens.
Yeah, and then Peter Hitchens is basically like Luke. Let's just say that he's very similar in his political views.
Is.
Yeah,
well, Peter Hitchens has some issues. It's still left Christopher.
Yeah, because like with it's I think like with economics, for example, I think Christopher Hitchens is more like free market than Peter is, because Peter's like, oh, we need to renationalize public services and the railways and stuff, and I think Peter Hitchens says like, we need the state to intervene in something, because then we know what's the point. So
yeah, what's this about Peter Hitchens lately? Look on Twitter, or look what he says. He says things like a lot of things he says is pro carbon. He defends him more. He defends let's say the Conservatives.
Yeah. But then, like he says, like he loves to say, the Conservatives are not a Conservative Party.
It's like an unlikely ally that the left has.
Guys, I keep like falling asleep, so I'm going to hang this up. But I'm going to stay in the side chat and just like listen to you as like a podcast in the background.
All right. You're just going in and out, so you can't really keep up. Right.
Yeah, basically, and I'm like,
that's fine. It's getting late anyway, so it's all right. We can chat for a bit more, but sure.
But I'll still be around. Yeah, exactly. I'll be lurking in the side chat. So I'll speak to you guys in a few. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
And anyway, what were we saying about Peter Hitchens, Christopher Hitchens? It's weird. Like people say on Twitter, "Oh, he's a very unlikely ally of the left," and I've tried to agree. I guess it's because he's principled, basically. I think that's why. That's why I'd say it, at least. Because didn't he do that big segment on like when on the after Syria, wasn't it? Like he did that sort of big thing on the BBC in that interview. I can't remember what it's called, but he did like a really good interview, and it was like him against I think it was him against like Priti Patel, wasn't it?
Yeah, he kind of vexed Priti Patel on that one.
Yeah.
But Priti Patel's massive warmonger.
Oh god, no! But she's part of the Israeli lobby, though. That's one of the big reasons. And obviously, didn't she have that whole thing to Israel as well? Didn't she have all those trips and all that?
Yeah, that's why she got she resigned, because she wanted to give the Israel army basically British aid budget.
Yeah, no wonder she's such a big warmonger.
And why would they give the aid budget, the country's aid budget, to a foreign army?
I don't know, but that's what our foreign aid is doing. That's what we're doing.
Well,
that's the problem with it.
It's the thing with foreign budget. spend it on awful things and give it directly to cook governments who, in turn, spend it on arms.
But that's not what foreign aid is about. It's about aid, like helping people, not like killing people. Stupid.
We actually bribed them India with foreign aid so they could buy our helicopters once.
Oh yeah. Because isn't it like with Israel at least, like India and France have very strong relations with them, from what I've heard.
Particularly France.
Oh yeah. Because don't they use like Israeli rifles and stuff? I've heard as well. Or is it the other way around?
I think it's the other way around.
Okay. Because they do share a lot of weaponry as well. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like this, it's like with the double standards. It's like with Trump, and he was mentioning about, the countries he was going to ban for like immigration, and out of nowhere he like mentioned 9/11, and yet he's still sending like what 110 billion worth of weapons to Saudi Arabia. I just find that really.
There was one rally. He said 7/11 instead of 9/11. It was pretty funny.
No,
and then there was one meme.
God. I just find it hypocritical. He's like, oh, we need to be hard on terrorism. We need to sort of deal with this. And yet he's chilling for both Israel and Saudi Arabia. I just find that ridiculous.
Well, terrorism is right. It's some extremist groups. It's a double game. They're being indirectly funded on purpose by the West.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. Have you, Cameron? Have you seen the video of when David Icke talks about Donald Trump as the super Zionist? Have you seen that? It's quite interesting because he's like, that's how American politics is controlled. It's all about AIPAC and the NRA and those sorts of things. It's not because David Icke always has this famous line that he uses. It's you vote for a party, but the government always gets in.
I think I might have heard that. Listen to it.
Yeah, I'll link it to you in the bullet chat. It's really interesting. It's like half an hour or so where he talks about Trump and the Israeli lobby. It's quite interesting. Yeah, Trump is like if they randomly went to someone in the street and decided they were going to be president. It's a bit more than that because he's sort of a rich guy that's been bankrupt before, so it's a bit different. Trump disfunded the white helmet hoaxes. I've heard about that. Apparently, I don't know. But yeah, Trump. But the thing is with Trump, like people think he's anti-establishment when he really isn't, which I find quite funny. So yeah,
here's the way. It's like he's got a lot of enemies in the American deep state. Let's put it like that at least.
Yeah.
Particularly in the FBI.
Oh yeah. Well, wasn't it the whole thing with James Comey? He just fired him as well.
Yeah.
What I don't really understand. I couldn't, especially with the media. I can't really tell what's happening. So what exactly was that? I couldn't really understand it.
I don't really do either. I don't really follow it.
That's the thing. That's what the media just confuses us. Let's be honest.
But what got is Trump wants to clear out basically American intelligence agencies. Get rid of what's to clear out the neocons basically.
Because wasn't it like, oh, I'm going to drain the swamp? Isn't that what he loves to say?
He wants the neocons out, and Trump is his own thing, but it's not as bad as most people think it is.
Oh, definitely. I don't like him, but I take him over Hillary anytime. Oh God, yeah. But then again, it's like people wonder, oh, why did Trump get in? He shouldn't have got in. But if you have someone as shit as Hillary to run against, you're bound to get in anyway.
Yeah, the American left brought down itself. So the Hillary one, so the Victor against Bernie Sanders, they're all shields. And we also had them Turks.
Oh, the young Turks. Oh God, yeah. It was. They were shitting for Hillary as well. It's the only American sort of person I like in this sort of thing is Jimmy Dore. I think he's really good. But Young Turks, yeah.
Young Turks are this idiotic.
No, they were shilling for the EU as during the referendum. They were interfering with it as well.
Right. Following an organization called Young Turks is like following a YouTube channel called a Nazi Party. The Young Turks are like fascists. They killed 1.5 million people in genocide.
What?
In Turkey.
Oh, I
Armenian
didn't
genocide.
know. No, I've heard about something like this, but I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I thought the Young Turks were
Okay.
the solar coup and for the well, they kind of went for the Ottoman government. They kept the
Yeah.
Sultan as a puppet, but
Yeah.
the orchestrated the Armenian genocide.
Yeah.
And what's
Oh, right here is a question for you guys. Does the Green Party in America exist out of the system enough to cause radical change if they were supposedly elected, or are also part of the establishment, quote unquote?
the Green Party is anti-establishment over there. It's not as left wing as ours. Well,
Yeah, but then again, Bernie isn't left wing as Corbyn is, and people say that Corbyn is a British Bernie Sanders. I'd say Bernie Sanders is an American Jeremy Corbyn. That's how I'd put it, especially on things like foreign policy.
he's basically a Clive Lewis.
Yeah, basically, especially on foreign policy. Yeah, because Corbyn's more pacifist, if you will. He's harder on foreign policy than Bernie is. Yeah, like someone random person. Yeah, okay, between quite. My mum could run the US better, to be honest. Isn't there this whole thing about now? People are talking about like if Trump can get into like any random celebrity you can get in. So it's about was it Dwayne Johnson and Oprah Winfrey and all that.
Yeah, Oprah's like the Democrat version of Trump.
Oh God, yeah,
Another software billionaire. She's
yeah.
popular, but she's quite nasty. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, Clinton
What?
was far, far worse, absolutely.
I heard heard about Mark Zuckerberg might be running as well.
What? Oh, and all the shit he's done. Yeah, because wasn't it in when he said I used to be human?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. Well, he isn't human at all. Terrible president or terrible president? Sounds good. I choose terrible president. And then the idea that the left exists in the USA is just stupid. There's no left in the USA. They destroyed the left after Teddy Roosevelt tried on a left-wing platform, shifting right wing for the Democrats. Yeah, but the thing is with the left in the US, it does exist, but they don't. The media, especially, they're trying to suppress it. Basically, that's what I feel.
The problem with America, never had a Labour Party, right?
Yeah.
Our politics was just like that before the Labour came up, right? We had Liberals and the Conservatives.
Yeah.
Before Labour. And
Oh yeah.
America, at that period of time, unlike other European countries as well as us, never had a stronger Labour Party that popped up.
Yeah.
And that's why America's in that position.
Yeah, because Republicans and Democrats, wasn't it the main thing about slavery and black rights or something? Wasn't that the main thing? Differentiator.
Well, the Democrats were pro-slavery.
Yeah.
What's really interesting. And they're flipped.
Yeah. Because what you think nowadays, you think of the Democrats as a more liberal type of centrist party and the Republicans as a more right-wing nationalistic party, but back then it was flipped, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, that was because of Nixon and his Southern strategy, and it's really odd because Democrats were full white supremacists, and now it's the opposite. And
well, yeah, they used to call them the Dixiecrats.
Yeah, they were the part of the South, but economics they were more left wing actually. But
yeah, I think there was the old line. Well, two lines. I think after the Civil Rights Act was signed, I think it was LBJ said we've just lost the South for a generation. And I think before he went to Senate, he said, I think we'll get those niggers voting Democrats for the next 300 years.
Oh yeah, I did study American history. Well, for AS level at least, because I dropped history. But I think I did do a bit of that actually. Because I remember after I finished GCSE history, we did some stuff on the Wild West, and it sort of carried on into A level. Not like the Wild West stuff, but it's sort of like a predecessor to the, the Black history in America and the Republicans, Democrats, that sort of thing.
You got such better history classes than here.
What? Really?
It's more diverse. Like, it's. Wait, are you talking about like the GCSE?
No, well, it was weird because we did. Well, it was probably different spec to you because you're like a year younger than I am. I'm assuming, right?
that on a different board, but
Oh,
yeah.
no, because I'm saying you're probably like an academic year behind to where I am. So it's weird because they sort of you're like in my year at least we're sort of in a transitionary phase between all these weird systems, and probably same with you. So I can't really say.
Yeah, I think we were the first one of the new system.
Okay, because I was
yeah.
I was sort of like a guinea pig for it, if you will,
But
and especially with A level.
Even with this board, like the stuff you learn is mainly the same. Only they've taken Italy out. Like it's mainly World War II. Only they've just taken Italy out.
Yeah.
So I think it's
yeah.
Germany, something else, and something else.
And Onyx says, A-level history is awful. Yeah, mate, that's why I dropped it. I was shit at it, basically. Shit at writing essays, so I dropped it because I got a D in it.
It wasn't that awful, especially when my history teacher wrote the exam.
Oh, God, you were lucky, man. Oh, God. No, our history teacher, he was a really good guy, though. He was actually Northern Irish, so he's telling us all about the troubles and all of that. So, quite interesting, because he's on the younger side, so he's talking about how his parents were all through this stuff, and he's really interested. So, yeah. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, my history teachers were good. I had, I think, this history teacher, we were the last year to be taught by this history teacher who was retiring that year, and he was really good. He taught us a bit of everything. So he was sort of like, what was it, like the jack of all trades, if you will? He knows a bit about everything. He was sort of that, and he used to like pull out random facts out of his arse whenever he felt like it. It was really fun. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, it was going off history. It was actually my English GCSE teacher who he was out of nowhere, like he was really into his World War II history, like out of nowhere, like someone would ask him a question about, say, the Spitfire or the, a Heinkel HE-111, and he just literally spent the lesson talking about World War II history, and that's how people wasted their time. It was brilliant. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I did enjoy well, I enjoyed GCSE history more than I did A level, to be fair. That's me personally. I guess because it was easier than A level, probably. That's why. But it was interesting learning about I think it was Nazi Germany, wasn't it? It was post First World War, and was it the Weimar Republic and the Night of the Long Knives and stuff like that, and then it was obviously Hitler rise to power, and obviously up to the end of Germany, end of World War II.
Was that AQA?
Yeah, we did AQA history.
Right. Did you get textbooks for them? And
oh yes, yeah.
Do you remember who wrote the textbooks?
I can't remember. No.
Well, it was my history teacher as well.
What was his name? I might remember.
Alan Gillingham of Thomas Waltham College.
It sounds familiar. Probably is. Probably is.
But he wrote the exam on the textbook, so we've got an advantage.
Oh, lucky you. Oh God! Wow. Yeah. I'm just reading the comments. When A levels, what A levels did everyone do? Onyx says I'm still doing them. Onyx is doing law, politics, philosophy, and formally business for dropping it. I did biology, maths, philosophy, and did EPQ. Well, Rahi, I did maths, chemistry, and physics, and I dropped history at AS level. So yeah, I did the so-called Asian options, if you will. And yeah, I'm studying computer science at uni now, by the way. I was like, you end up doing PP at uni. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I because George, I think he's doing like history and politics and stuff, so he might do that. So yeah, I know it was a guy, one of the guys I was good friends with. He was like the youngest person in the year above me, and he did like maths, chemistry, like biology, and he ended up out of nowhere. He ended up doing PP at Warwick. I know, ridiculous. And it's like with my best friend at uni. studied English and RE at A level, but he ended up doing computer science, which you never know how you never know where life could take you, I guess. Yeah, got into Manchester. Good for you. Wait, you're Asian? Yeah, I am, mate.
Oh right, I thought you were saying to them. I was about to say you found her brother.
Yeah, no, I am Asian. I'm as brown as you can be, mate.
Yeah, but I thought you were saying to him, "Oh wait, you're Asian."
No, but I'm reading out the comments because he was like, "Oh, I'm." He was asking me if I was Asian.
Right,
Top 30 in the world
do
for
that.
law. No, it's say to good. Which part of Asia? Well, India. So I can't remember where it was actually. I have to ask my dad because, oh god, his family's from there. But I don't really give a shit. So somewhere in India. That's all I can say. Anyway, yeah. The thing is, like with family ancestry, I honestly don't give a shit. It's like I'm here. I'm here in this present time. I do what I want. I don't really give a shit about ancestry. So yeah. So what about you, Cameron? Were you a mixed race, right? Weren't you?
Yeah.
So which part were black, which part were white, which side of the family was that?
Oh, black side on one side.
Mom's side, okay.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned your dad was he in the miners' strike or something?
Battle of Orgreave, basically. Got arrested.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know a few mixed race people in our little sort of circle. I know Calvin is he's half white and half Indian, and I know Styes is half black and half white. So yeah, I think there are a couple of other mixed race people in our group as well. So yeah.
I think Simon is sort of black, actually. But...
Funnily enough, I recently set off my 23 and my DNA kit. Oh yes, they were doing these. I've seen on YouTube. They do these DNA tests where you find out where you're from. I should do one actually. It's quite interesting because I don't know much about my ancestry, to be fair. But yeah, I know 100% Bengali, but you never know, right? Yeah, that's the thing. You always assume, but something might pop up and it's weird.
See, if I do, mine will be completely over the place.
Yeah, because you've got black ancestry and white ancestry, so it's going to be.
What was that?
Yeah.
Black Jamaican. Now.
Oh yeah.
Because of the slave trade, that's a very mixed groups. Because right, the misconception that African or sub-Saharan Africans are one race. They don't consider themselves one race.
Mm.
You've got the Bantus and Pygmies and there's some groups, but they consider these different races.
Yeah.
Quite interesting. East African Ethiopians and Somalians, classic Africans, are considered a race by Africans.
Yeah.
But which is all quite interesting.
Yeah, I don't know where I'd be from, to be fair. Probably somewhere in India, like probably a few places, but I don't know. It's a bit weird. I have to ask my parents because I know my uncle has started building up. Was it Ancestry? Isn't there like a website where you can build your family tree? So he started doing that. So I have to ask him. Anyway, yeah. Because all I know is like I'm on my mom's side. I know my granddad came here, and then my mom was raised here. And I know on my dad's side, he came here, married my mom, and then I was born. So I don't know what generation would that make me? Because I'm like, how do generations work? Is the first generation the immigrant or the son of or the kid of the immigrant?
Immigrant.
Okay, so that would mean I'd be second generation on my dad's side and be first, second, third. Probably be like second generation on my dad's side and be like third or fourth on my mom's side or something like that. So it's a bit weird. I know, it's a bit weird. Because I know my granddad came here in the 70s and did his degree here. So yeah. But yeah, anyway. These companies do want more Asians and Africans to do it because there's a lack of data to map the data sufficiently. Yeah, definitely. But yeah. Because wasn't it in the bullet chat where I think that's Abby Cat who was saying like her surname was about like it's very sort of what's the word, like very sort of specific, like if you had that surname you'd be related to her somehow. It's a bit weird. was something. Was it Fullick? Was something about somewhere in
Yes.
the UK? I think he was saying about a surname. So yeah, I'll have a look because I sent a link on the bullet chat about it anyway. Let's have a look. Last name. Oh, okay. Here we are. Last name Fullick. This interesting surname of an Anglo-Saxon origin is a locational name from Fulwick's. I can't say that. Sorry. In West Sussex, basically. So she's basically from there. Well, not from there, but like ancestry-wise. And derives from the Old English pre-7th century "fol," meaning foul or dirty, plus "we," an early loan word from the Latin "vicus," translating to dwelling place or a dairy farm. The prefix "fol" was frequently attached to brook, wood, or farm, possibly because pigs were bred and reared in these areas. Locational surnames were developed when former inhabitants of a place moved to another area, usually to seek work, and were best identified. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like with surnames, you have like a lot of surnames, like especially here and other places, they have surnames for like what they did as a sort of a craft. Like you have baker, carpenter, that sort of thing, you know. So yeah, it's quite interesting. I mean, she did mention like she could maybe do a show tomorrow, so that'd be quite interesting. Let her introduce herself and like talk about this because I don't know much about locational surnames. All I know is like certain surnames like they used to have like for trades and stuff. So
Yeah.
anyway.
Well,
Yeah.
my surname means servant, basically.
Oh, okay. And Rahi Ali says, my parents were first generation, moved here in Thatcher years. I'd be second gen. My older sister's a first gen. Okay. Oh, so were you the second gen and your siblings? Oh, okay, that makes sense. So Rahi Ali's basically saying he was the second generation in his siblings. So it's not like with me, with my parents. Like I'm second gen on my dad's side and like fourth on my mum's side. It's not like that. So yeah, I'm quite blessed that I finished exams and assignments 2 weeks ago. But fellow friends at the uni think of it. Oh God, tell me about it, mate. I finished all my assignments, but I've got exams that start on Wednesday. So I'm not looking forward to it. Anyway, pretty shit. But yeah. Yeah, Cameron, when do you break up for uni? When's your final year finish?
The 23rd, and that's it.
23rd of May.
Yeah.
Oh wow, so you've basically graduated at that point.
Basically, yeah.
So when is your graduation ceremony?
It's in the autumn, but October.
Oh, okay, yeah. So what are you hoping for? What are you sort of predicting for yourself, judging by like past few years?
2-1.
Oh.
I couldn't get first.
Oh, that's good.
Depends
Yeah,
on the
aim for the first. You know, that's what they say. Aim high. Sorry, I meant my sister moved here as a toddler. Oh yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I still have 7 exams. Need all A's. How is uni? Well, it depends what course you're doing. Like Rahi, what course are you doing, mate? What are you studying? Because I'll tell Onyx about mine. I'm studying computer science at Aston Uni. But yeah, it's intense. And Rahi says it's great, but you generally get depressed on you. Oh my God, yeah, I so get depressed on it and think of it because it overloads yourself. And it's mad. So it all depends what subjects you're doing. If you're doing science, then it'll kill you. That's all I can say. But the more intense subjects than sciences, like computer science and biology, like Rahi studying, is I'd say engineering and medicine. I think are more intense. So like say electronic engineering here, it's I think about a 25-hour week, whereas my subject is 19 hours. But yeah. So yeah, I mean Cameron, I mean what's it like studying history? I'm assuming it's way lighter than my subject.
Oh, it probably is. It's really,
Yeah, I mean, but history, it's not. Well, my subject is all about content, whereas your subject is more about theory and sort of, well, what's like perception, if you will, like philosophy. I don't know if that's the right way
Yeah.
of saying it.
Yeah, it is. Mainly, it has to do with public history, which is
Yeah, yeah,
very intensive.
yeah,
And like this one is not
yeah.
not the same.
Yeah. Rahi, what year of uni are you in, if you don't mind me asking? Because I'm just first year and I'm just fucking hell. It's madness. I hate first year. But yeah, Cameron, what was your experience of first year? Because I thought first year was way more intense than I was expecting.
It wasn't intense at all. It
No,
was
there's
firstly,
Yeah.
doesn't count to my final mark at all, or second year. It was quite interesting.
Yeah. Oh, first year like me. Cool. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it's not intensive at all. It's less intensive than A level.
Oh no, I thought my subject was about slightly more intense, slightly less intense than A level, slightly.
No, A level was extremely intense. And I
Oh
hated
god, I
it.
hated A levels. God damn A levels, man, I hated it so much. But I
Yeah.
mean, the amount of content I've studied this year would be about 1.5 times as much as a year of A level. So we do study a lot in computer science.
No, it wouldn't. It'd be a bit is less. This is less because you do this is well, you do less subjects basically.
Yeah, no, it's not. Well, the thing is, you study one subject, but it all depends what the content of that subject is. So, like, let's say if you're studying medicine or engineering or something, then it is going to be more intense than, say, history. It's all relative, really. But yeah, I mean, I'd say about 1.5 times as much as the first year of A level. But yeah, I've done about. I think I'm going to be doing about 9 exams by the end of the year. I'll have finished. So yeah, it's more intense. Oh.
Well, was that me?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't notice because I didn't know, couldn't see who it was because it's in the side chat. It should be second if I hadn't reached A level. Oh, so you're basically like a year older than I am. Fair enough. Yeah, I know actually I know a couple of people in my year who are 20 who resat their A level twice because they. No, yeah, it's funny because they're actually engaged to each other and they've been like dating for like 5 years and they resat their A levels together because they weren't happy about how they did. So yeah, I know a couple of like 20-year-olds who are like engaged like in first year at my uni. So yeah, it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's the oldest person in your year? Because like I said, it's probably like the 20-year-olds. My first year, anyway.
Someone in the 30s.
Yeah, I've seen like I'm not sure about in like degree level, but in like PhDs, I know like someone from like India who's like in his 40s doing a PhD here. So yeah, but PhD is different because that doesn't really matter on age. It's not like a fixed degree or anything. So yeah. Rahi Ali says I was planning to do mental health and nursing before. I got an offer, didn't get the grades. Though back then it was tuition fees and running grants for. Oh God, yeah, Jeremy. I won't say the last word because I know what it means, but I can't say it on stream. But you know that sneaky bastard, Jeremy cunt. I just say it, Jeremy cunt. There we go. Anyway, yeah, he took away all the grants, didn't he? So that's a hate hunt.
Well, yeah, for the nurses.
Yeah, and he expects people to do ridiculous hours for slightly more pay, isn't it?
Yeah, he's yeah.
Okay. But that's what capitalism is. It's just working people to death and not giving them value, really.
It's not that. It's that's it. You're like an indentured, right? You're an indentured servant basically because you can't do anything because you got something like money and without it you can't survive.
Yeah.
Without it you can't do actually what you want. To contribute to society.
Yeah.
This is why.
Yeah. And Rahi Ali says the oldest person in his year at uni is low 40s. Wow.
Yeah. And
Wow.
this is why depression's going up.
Yeah.
So rapidly. People are stuck in situations they want to be in.
Yeah. No, it's like with my degree. I personally think my degree is a fucking waste of time, but I still have to do it. You know.
Well, might be a waste of time as well, but
Yeah.
yeah, the jobs we get is there's no
Exactly.
contribute to anything.
Exactly. It's like with the jobs. I need it to get a good high-paying job. I need at least a bachelor's in computer science to get at least upper 20s to 30s a year. And it's ridiculous. It's a boundary. It's like with I was talking to Luke about this about how how the not just society but like how the immigration system has allowed for successive governments to basically forget about their own people and basically put boundaries to work and employment because they can just get cheap labor. That's basically what it is.
It's not just that. It's we built this economy to be like that on purpose, right? When we've got rid of manufacturing, what we're gonna do as workers because we run financial services and make some money.
Yeah.
But it reaches less people.
Yeah.
So this is why we're in this situation.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, Rahi. That's why, actually, I think I mentioned this, like my best friend, he's actually dropping out of uni because he realizes that the people on the course are absolute retards and fucking idiots. And next year we have 4 group projects and we don't get to choose our own groups. So that's what I'm actually considering, Rahi, as well, because I'm in a bit of a sticky situation as well because of the fact we have group work next year and most people are retards. And yeah, what was I going to say? Like, for example, in my first term at uni, I had to do a group presentation, and because we have this module called computational reasoning and communication, which is basically the I think this recent study has shown like the computer science and general graduates in STEM subjects don't have the skills in the workplace, even though they do have the degree. So that's what the sort of thing is about presentation and presenting solutions and shit like that. So it turns out I actually did 50% of the work because I doubled the amount of slides and had to fix their grammar, fix all their slides, and I had to submit the bloody thing. And yet they said, Rahi, get this right. They said to me that I had to only put 30% down on the group contribution sheet, and I'm like, fuck off. It's fucking insane. Group projects are the worst. Exactly. That's why I'm thinking about my position at the moment. Is it worth me carrying on? Because group projects, if they'll pull me down next year, and I hate group work. It's fucking hate. What can I say about it? It's infuriating. And it's a funny thing, actually, because I sort of used it to my advantage, because in my second term, I had to write a report on what I did in the group work, and it was, well, the module that I was talking about is a 20 credit module, and the presentation was worth 20 credits. Not 20 credits, 20%. So I managed to make the group scrape a 2-1 out of it, thanks to my hard work. Then we scraped a 2-1, and in the report, it's actually worth twice as much as the presentation itself, so it's worth 40% of the 20 credits. So I put my heart and soul into that report, and the group actually asked me, "Oh, we have the presentation slides, and can you help us on the solutions?" I'm like, "Fuck off, mate. I did the solutions. Go fuck yourself." That's basically what I said to them, and I think they deserved it.
Yeah, I'm just saying I'm leaving now for the night.
All right. Good night, Jared.
Oh, good night.
All right. So yeah, do you think they deserved my treatment of basically telling them to fuck off after making me do all the work? I think they deserved it. Personally.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
But the thing is, it's like a report where we have to write down what we did in the group, how we developed the solution, and why we used what we did. And the thing is, it was weird because it's sort of like I didn't see it, but it was made in my favor because they made me develop the solution. So I did all the work so I could do the report properly, whereas they couldn't, which I found quite funny. So, yeah, there we go.
How well did they do on it?
On the report, I don't know, because the results will come out in a week's time. So I'll have to find out. I hope I do well. I hope I get a 2-1 at least. But I felt like I did well anyway. But you never know. You never know.
It'll be alright.
Hopefully.
I think it worked. It worked quite well.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's like I managed to get the group work through. Like I managed to get them a 2-1 in the end, thanks to my hard work. So hopefully, You know, hopefully it goes all right.
Yeah.
Rahi says some people want to stick to their little mess about. Let's not forget the excuses like, oh, I'm busy. I have other assignments. I have to travel. Oh God. Oh, Rahi, I'm going to tell you this, right? Like, most of the people in my group commuted, right? And they use that excuse to make me do all the work. So, and that's why I said to my parents, I'm going to stay at uni next year because, you know, then, it's funny because because I told my parents about what happened with the group work, and I basically threatened to them, say, I'm not going to do any work if I commute, I'll just stay at home and mess about. So they basically said, oh, we'll let you live out next year. So I basically used that to my advantage on my parents, which is a bit funny. So yeah, I basically sort of like told them, oh, I'm going to live out next year, and if I don't, then I won't do the work. I won't attend lectures and subscribe everything. So there we go. Because the thing is, with me, I can't. It might be different for you, Cameron, because you haven't properly like lived out in halls. But my experience in halls is, I can't work at home. I just can't because I got 2 annoying siblings running around me. I got to help out in the house. I got to do all this shit. You know, it's just too much. I'd rather be at my own place, just do my own work. To be fair.
Oh, that's understandable.
Yeah, because I do spend a lot of time in the library as well, so it does help too. Yeah, because we do have a big uni library. I think that's about like 3 minutes walk from my accommodation, so quite nice. Yeah, I'm living out next year, hopefully in the same room. Depends what they say, so hopefully. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, what advice would you give to, let's say, uni students, like prospective uni students, like let's say, I don't know, Gerard, but he's not here. So like people like him, the biggest advice I'd give to people like Gerard would be, don't procrastinate, number one, and number two, attend all your lectures. That's what I'd say, especially for first year.
I'll say.
Yeah, but I'd say the procrastination one is the biggest one, because in computer science, at least, they give you so much work that if you don't start it the day it's set, then you won't be able to finish it at all. And that's just in first year. Imagine what it's going to be like next year.
Really?
Yeah.
So about reading.
Because they give me like weekly programming assignments, and I got other shit to do as well. So it's weird because I got to revise for exams. I have assignments to do. I got coursework to do as well, which is the group work I talked about, and plus I got a couple of other programming projects I have to do with a group of 3, and it's ridiculous. It's just careful about. Oh, Rahi says careful of the snakes at uni. There's some people who will want to cause misery when they are lagging behind. Of course, that's what my mom was telling me about. She studied. I can't remember. It's a biology course at King's College, and when she did group work, she said she had to carry the group, and it's full of snakes. So yeah. And of course, don't procrastinate. That's got me good. Of course, don't procrastinate. But yeah, it's just my main thing with A levels. That's the lesson I learned from GCSEs and A levels: is you can't procrastinate because then it'll come back to bite you in the end. There we are. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying uni, but I'm considering my position because, like I said, my best friend's gonna leave because of the shitty people on the course. So it's good uni, but the people on the course aren't good. That's the thing. The lecturers are amazing, but it's a bit weird one, because when I go to their offices to ask for help, they're genuinely surprised that, oh, you make the effort to help, that you make the effort to go and ask them for help. They're genuinely surprised. I'm like, really? Surely more students will be doing it, but most of them don't give a shit. So there we are. Yeah, A-levels were my most depressing years, to be honest, as much as uni gets me depressed. Oh, absolutely, I hated A-levels, and Rahi, I'll tell you this right now, I've forgotten literally, like, probably 70 to 80% of my A-levels have gone. So all my chemistry, all my chemistry, in fact, and most of my physics has gone out of my head. The only thing that's retained is half of my A-level maths, because I sort of have to use some of A-level maths. So, yeah, there we are. I still remember that, but to be fair, I did enjoy maths. So, yeah, there we are. But, yeah, Cameron, what did you find with A-levels? I just hated it.
I just liked them. How they ran.
Yeah, but the thing with my A-levels, there wasn't any subject that I liked at all. I had to take these because I needed maths and physics to get into a computer science course. So I needed those 2 subjects, and I just took chemistry because I was alright at it. So yeah, I got a high B in chemistry, so I was happy about that. Yeah, there's always one. That's good. Yeah, I hated A levels, man. It's fucking insane. I just say to people, once you got A levels over with, you can just look back at it with like, oh, that's the worst part of my life gone. So to be fair, with A levels, all you need, you know, like with A levels, the only bit that matters at the end is getting good grades, so you get your certificates at the end, then you can just store them away and never forget them, never remember it. There we are.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh God, A levels. Because it was a few weeks ago. I went to collect my results from school because I didn't have time after Christmas. So literally, when I took them home, I just literally just put them in a drawer and forgot about them. That's how fed up with A levels I was. There we are. Yeah. Well, Onyx says, I miss A-levels. Man, I will not miss A-levels, unlike you, mate. I hated A-levels. I'm just glad I'm at uni, and I can just get my degree at this point.
Well, I went to first, though. It was like a medieval castle.
Yeah.
It used to be a private school.
Yeah, oh, God. Yeah, I know it sounds bad, even though I slag off grammar schools a little bit here and there. I actually went to a grammar school between year 7 and 13, so, yeah. But then again, Asian parents, what can you do? They want you to go to grammar, don't they? There we are.
I always thought that stereotype was for Chinese.
No. Well, Indian and Chinese, I'd say they're both the same. But Chinese, it's more like you see at unis. Well, I've met loads of Chinese people at uni. I have to say, they're some of the nicest people you ever meet, but they do have high sort of standards, though. But yeah, they are very respectful and nice, but they do have, especially Chinese people, they do have very high standards, and I think that they sort of like bred into that.
Yeah.
Same with Indian. Do you commute New Left Boys? No, I don't. Like I said earlier, this is funny actually because I'm living in first year in halls at the moment. But second year, my parents wanted me to commute, but I told them like, no, I can't because of, firstly because of the group work. Secondly, because I made that threat that I wouldn't do the work. Thirdly, because the bus services are absolutely shit here in Birmingham. Because, no kidding, it can take me from anywhere from 40 minutes to 2 hours to get home on the bus. So, and people say to me, oh, why don't you take the train? But what's the point when I have to take a bus after the train? There's no point, you know. Why not stay on the same bus? So, yeah, and I think the last straw for my parents was for me living out next year was like they found out that it took me 2 hours to get home a couple of times, and they were like, "Oh, fair enough, we'll let you live out next year." So that's sorted. I'm living out all my years at uni. So yeah, pretty nice. I went to a comprehensive. I still did relatively well at GCSEs. Yeah, so did all my so did my mom and all their siblings. I went to comprehensives. So there we are. Yeah. Rahi, why don't you join so we can talk about this? This is way less awkward, you know. Just come and join, mate. I'll just link you in the... Come on, join. Because, you know, just me talking to you in the side chat's a bit awkward, and it's awkward with Cameron, so, yeah. There we are. But, yeah. Cameron, didn't you commute, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Well, what's your experience with commuting? Because I actually know someone who... I know a couple of people who study computer engineering who actually commuted. And it's funny because the guy that I'm good friends with, he studies computer engineering, he has a girlfriend and like a 2-year-old kid. And he's like a mature student in his mid-20s. So, yeah. I mean, some people have to sacrifice a lot, I guess, to get an education. It's quite sad, you know.
It's quite sad when the system's quite broken.
Yeah, no, the system's broken because the problem with the system is it's not designed to get people into work. It's sort of like making it a burden for them so they can leech off them later. Because with the system right now, what it should be is education should be free for all, and they should be helping people to get into work, not giving them 50 grand worth of debt at the end of it. That's what I think, personally.
Well, what's happening? you mean trade to serve the rich.
Oh yeah, no, that's the thing. That's what exactly. That's Oh, I'm not ready to join. I was planning to sleep, but you've caught my interest. All right, fair enough, Rahi. But what I was going to say was, Rahi, I was going to ask you, Rahi, did your uni have the strikes? Because my uni had them really badly, and it was they call them teach outs, don't they? I think, and they were talking about the neoliberalism and the marketization of the unis, and how during a degree, you know how they always say like how it's designed for industry, and the fact with a degree is they feed you a load of shit and they don't let you think for yourself. That's what I don't like about a degree. It's just making you a corporate slave, isn't it? Basically.
Basically, it's like David Dyke. It's teaches you to become a part of the system.
Yeah, basically. And that's the thing with politics as well in uni. Most people, well, me at least, I'm really scared to say what I think about, say, Brexit and immigration because I fear that I'd get lashed out because I'm basically not part of that system in my views. So I'm basically fearful to say what I think at uni as well, even though it's supposed to be for debate as well, you know.
Yeah. Well, in history, you have to be free to say what you want.
Exactly, that's the point. Whereas my subject, you don't really.
It's one of those subjects where you don't get penalised because it's something that's controversial.
Yeah, but I mean, history. That's controversy makes history. That's the thing, you know.
Yeah. What that's be like that when we'll talk about things like Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I learned actually is that look, you know what Ken Livingstone said.
Yeah.
It's actually true. I actually learned that in part of the degree.
Yeah. Oh, and Rahi says, I go to Stafford Uni, but Keele Uni, which is within bus distance, did have strikes. Yeah, lucky you, because you're doing a science subject like me. Ugh. I hated the strikes, man. It was just, what can I say? For one of my modules, for I think it was internet computing, we lost literally 10 hours worth of lectures and labs because of the strikes, and for a few others, we lost about 6 or 7 hours. And apparently, the amount of money we'd have like if we didn't pay tuition fees during the strikes, we would have saved close to £1,000, which is ridiculous. But I just don't understand. The thing with the strikes is I understand why the strikes happened, but the way they handled it was awful, personally. So I don't have the sympathy with the uni in that sense. No, I have sympathy with the lecturers, but I don't have sympathy with the uni. That's how I'd put it personally. What about you, Cameron? Did you have strikes at your uni as well?
Some, but I wasn't really affected by them at all.
Yeah, but that's the thing with I was talking to someone and they were like, "Oh, because you're first year students, they basically shit on you and concentrate on the second and third years," which I think is a fair point because first years sort of disposable, aren't they? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're seen as disposables. That's the problem. I supported the strikes, but my uni should compensate the students through slightly reduced tuition fees. Absolutely, because the lecturers are leeching off us, basically. Not the lecturers, but like the management at the top, the vice chancellors and stuff. They're leeching off us through these tuition fees. And Rahi, I'd say this: like I don't have any student loans. I'm not in any debt, but it's my parents who are paying for my tuition fees. I think find that. Not the fact that they're paying, but the fact they're paying for me to not have an education for a few weeks, I think is absurd. So I totally agree with you that they should refund it. Absolutely. But yeah, I don't have any loans or anything because I'm paying for the accommodation and my parents are paying for the tuition fees. So that's how it's working for me. Anyway. But yeah, I think it's absurd because it's not me like wasting money with a loan. With the strikes, it's my parents that are wasting the money, which is even sadder, to be fair. Anyway. What? Yes, my parents did. I paid for my tuition, but there we go. But the thing is, Rahi, like, they sort of want me to aspire to get a degree because my mom, she did a master's and then she did a PGCE. She was offered a PhD place but couldn't because she had me, so yeah. And same with her brother. my uncle, he did a master's as well in chemical engineering, and same with her sisters. They all did higher than a bachelor's too, and same with my dad because he's a doctor. So he's done all this crazy shit as well. He's spent like 17 years at uni because he's a clever guy. He actually did his he basically did, sort of like it's in India. They have the American system where if you finish high school early, you can go to uni early. So he went to uni when he was 14. So yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I know, it's ridiculous. But then again, in those countries, they let you go to uni early because then they want the money, don't they?
Pretty much. So
and it's my dad because he was a working class lad. He had, I think, 4 brothers, and they all raised each other's money for uni. They all worked together. They had a very tight knit. They worked for their uni, so because it was different back then because they were all working class. So, and that sort of tells for how this system is because instead of working for uni, people just take out loans and they get leached off of, don't they?
Yeah, it's to trap the population in a cycle of
debt bubble, isn't it? Yeah, that good, but you don't have to rely on loans. That I don't have to rely on loans. Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, Rahi, if the whole social thing with you have to get a degree, I wouldn't waste money doing this. I would tell my parents to not waste their money making me do a degree. To be honest, it's wasted their money. But you have to do one to get a job. To be fair, that's what I'd say.
Right, it's how the system works, isn't it?
Exactly, it's the system. It's ridiculous.
It's a broken, or anything's about our society's broken.
Oh god, yeah. Everything.
Which is why yesterday I was arguing that we should just abolish the bit state and build it back up again.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, and that's what the whole thing with the right-wing governments is. It's about It's about the whole thing about like right-wing governments. It's all about increasing barriers to the working class, isn't it? They just want the rich to profit, not the working class at all.
Yeah,
They don't want it.
Well, these people rant on and on about equality of opportunity. Now,
yeah,
they never question the existence of private schools. Now, if you look at Sargon and Akkad, this is a big Greece for. Talks about positive discrimination. It's equality of opportunity.
No, but he's actually right wing, isn't he? He's not left wing like he said.
No, he's left. It's a bit weird, but
no, I think he's centre personally.
It's not centre either. He's another one, but it's hard.
But he was shilling for the Tories and Trump, which I don't understand. How could someone on the left do that?
Because of the main reason is Brexit. He thinks.
Yeah.
Right. But Simon voted Green for the Tories in 2015. He's not a monster they think he is. It's probably pandering to his own view.
Yeah, but I guess it's for the money, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, his viewers are up right. He's basically a libertarian, but a left wing one. He's probably a similar level as probably slightly left to the ML band.
Okay.
He's not what a monster.
I'd say he's probably similar to me then. I guess.
He's a massive libertarian though, and he's social conservative.
No, I think I'm socially conservative too, but not to the extent Sargon is, to be honest.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the stuff I agree with him on, like let's say self ID and the whole, in America the whole SJW agenda with the 112 genders or whatever. Like I agree with him on that, but not everything, when it comes to social issues, for example. But that's probably the main thing we agree on. The whole SJW PC agenda I don't like. Anyway. Yeah, I'm a socially. I call myself centre left economically and centre right socially. I'd say personally. But yeah, what about yourself? Where would you class yourself as on that?
I wouldn't call myself a social conservative. I say I'm social issues. I'm very, very libertarian on these
Very
issues.
libertarian. Yeah, no, I'm libertarian too. But the thing is, like, I disagree with a lot of stuff people are doing nowadays. But it's my right to criticize them, but it's not my right to stop them. That's how I see it.
Yeah, on these issues, leave people to do what they want, basically.
Exactly, because But the problem is, like, my view on this is that if it's none of my business, if it's none of my business, then, it's none of my business. But the thing is, with the media especially, they're shoving this agenda down our throats, and I'm getting sick of it and angrier by the day, to be honest.
It's the media, and there's bigger agendas than you think of these things.
Yeah.
It's no accident that these issues have come up lately.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, with this yeah.
I'm going to mention Agenda 1021 and leave it at that.
Rahi says, I used to be quite alt-right, the anti-SJW stuff during my first 2 years of college. I'm very anti-SJW too, but I'm not alt-right, if you call me that, because I'm not into that sort of shit. I don't like the alt-right, but I'm anti-SJW, as in third wave feminism sort of thing. Because all it is, let's be honest, all this SJW nonsense is all about creating tension in communities, isn't it? It's all about division, isn't it? Really?
It's the random rule.
Exactly, that's the point. But yeah, that's what I'd say about it anyway. But yeah, it's ridiculous. But like I said, I'm libertarian on social issues. But the thing is, what I say to this is what people do in their lives, what sort of shit they get up to with this 112 genders or whatever, it's up to them. It's not up to me. But the problem is the media has made it my business, and I need to speak up about it. That's how I feel personally, because the media has shoved it down our throats.
Yeah, because like I said, the media has an agenda in this.
Agenda, yeah. Exactly.
They're controlled by a few rich people. Who
Yeah.
often invited to these meetings.
Yeah.
I shall not mention Bilderberg again.
Oh no! It wasn't there about. Was it 12 Bilderbergs control the media or something?
Yeah, but they do.
Yeah, and it's like with it's like people talk about the Guardian and the Independent as sort of like the liberal sort of thing we should aspire to read, but they're controlled by the establishment too. I mean, they're all in it together, to be fair.
Well,
the Guardian and Independent are anti-Brexit and generally anti-Corbyn, so I'm not surprised.
Two masks on the same face.
Oh yeah. I mean, you've got. I think Swiss was talking about this during the election when he was talking about the so-called death of mainstream media, and he says they're all part of this neoliberal consensus where they all basically say similar things. So it's like, let's say for the Telegraph, there'd be more Eurosceptic and more pro-Tory, but they wouldn't stray out of that line too much. They always have to stay in check, really.
Yeah, the Telegraph.
Oh yeah.
They've always been like that. They've always been split on the Europe issue.
Yeah, because there's loads of articles saying pro-Remain and there's loads of articles saying pro-Leave, and it's, and I think it was didn't Nigel Farage did Nigel Farage write in the Telegraph as well? I think he did, because you had Daniel Hannan and you had Nigel Farage and you had a few others as well on the Leave side.
Just like the Guardian, they're right random people. No, Jeremy Corbyn and Dan Abbott has worked for the Guardian numerous times. They're right people.
Yeah, and so is like Tony Blair and Alistair Campbell. Actually, Alistair Campbell recently, he was taking the Blair out line. Oh, Corbyn has failed us. He's screwed over the locals. Blah blah blah.
Look, Campbell's always been like that. He's a real one. It's like the Antichrist in the Bible. I hate to bring this weird stuff up, but Antichrist is meant to be very charismatic, but very manipulative and evil in the background.
Yeah.
And that's just,
yeah, but that's how New Labour got into power. They're evil but charismatic. That's what Tony Blair is as well. I mean, that's how they got into power. It's all about the media, and of course, wasn't like Tony Blair like godfather to Rupert Murdoch's kids or something ridiculous like that as well?
I don't know.
I think he was sort of like, I think he's had sort of like God relation, if you will, to Rupert Murdoch's family. So yeah, and he was very close to Rupert Murdoch, but didn't Rupert Murdoch like think that he's cheating with a family member or something?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, but it was George Galloway documentary about. Have you seen The Killings of Tony Blair?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he mentions that in his documentary. Yeah. So yeah. But yeah. Anyway, what my plan is for tomorrow, because I don't have anything on. I might do a stream where like Abby Cat can join and stuff. So I might do something tomorrow, because I might not be able. This is the thing. I might not be able to do my usual podcast on Wednesday. It depends how I feel on the day, but my exam finishes at 5, I think. Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
So it depends, but I'm gonna do a stream tomorrow and I'll let people join. So yeah, that's my plan for tomorrow, and I think I might. Rahi's posted something just quickly. If there's any place that needs female empowerment, not the American third wave kind, it would be India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. I swear there's an underage girl getting. Oh, definitely, absolutely. There's a huge issue there, and not to mention underage marriage. And people say, "Oh, America's like the developed." It's sort of like the third, what the third world should aspire to, America. But in America, they have loads of underage marriage there, don't they? You know.
In some states, it's illegal. It's legal in some states.
Legal, yeah, and I've seen the social experiment where about underage marriage. It's quite interesting as well. But that's the thing. There's loads of social experiments going on as well, isn't there?
Well, it's true that it was common in the past. No, the average age of a woman getting married was about 14.
Yeah.
About 200 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a huge problem with teenage pregnancy there as well, isn't it? As well.
Yeah, what's interesting about this country though? Teenage pregnancies are all-time low.
Yeah. I think I was talking about this. Was it with Angels? I think because we were talking about like ages of parents and sort of thing, and she said it used to be way higher than it was.
Yeah, I remember when I was at school, that's all people would talk about. It was really high, but
Oh, okay.
it's down. I'm really how. I don't know what's caused it. Maybe it's social change and
probably, yeah. And also, well, it wasn't. Oh, I'll read the comment. I thought it was 14 because the life expectancy was shorter things at short times. What was the age of consent? Was it always 16 or was it higher or lower?
It was lower.
No, I think Rahi says it's 14 apparently, but then they raised it to 16, I think.
Yes, it was. It was even more than 14. At one point, it was about 12.
12?
In fact, there wasn't even one. Yeah.
What? Oh my god! Because that's the sort of thing. That's what you think about, child molesters raping like 12-year-old children, and yet it was legal at one point.
It was common. It was really common.
Oh wow!
This isn't. When you got a society based on religion back then, and when in the Bible this happened, and the same thing happened to even worse extent in the Quran.
Yeah.
People see it as normal, right? The Prophet Muhammad, right, in the Quran, got mature to a 6-year-old and married at 9. And the Bible, some of the things in the Bible, but at older ages, at 12, it normalizes it in those societies when the societies are based on religion.
Yeah, but wasn't it back then like it was? But it's been going on for centuries, even millennia at that point.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that note, I think we should start wrapping it up because it's 2:27, and I need to get up at like 10. So I mean,
sleep. Yeah,
I'm starting to fall asleep too because I had what was it? The anti what was it? Medication for hay fever. Apparently, it's supposed to make you a bit drowsy, and I'm starting to feel a bit drowsy actually.
Yeah, when I took that, it never worked. It never worked for me. Oh, I still have hay fever.
Oh god, yeah. I like I said, I never used to have really bad hay fever, but now it's gotten worse when I got older. So yeah. Anyway, I'm planning to do a stream tomorrow with like Abby Cat if she can join, because she said she'll do one tomorrow. And because if you don't know who she is, follow her on Twitter. And also she was in Chamchi's stream a couple of days ago too. So yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, how should I describe her? She's an old school Labour voter who voted Leave. I'd say that much at least. And yeah, but she might be on tomorrow. Well, today, in fact, and yeah, and might do a stream with her and a few other people, including yeah, and we might see Cameron as well. Why not? So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, guys. I mean, look forward to the stream if it happens today or maybe tomorrow. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye, everyone.
Bye.